Yeah, there we go.
What's happening, man?
Not much. It's been a bit
Yeah, you been?
since November.
Yeah,
Yeah,
about a month now.
yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, it was a good show. I like that. Persevering Underground, right? Is that what it's called? Preserve.
Preserving.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It's an
that
old
place
church.
is neat.
That place
Yeah,
is awesome.
fits the vibe.
Yeah. So what's
So, what's been up
happening?
since then? Oh,
Uh, as soon as we got off that Exodus tour, I stayed up in the Bay Area, and then we did the two Death Angel Christmas shows. So Rob, who was teching for Lee and Jack, he also techs for Death Angel as well,
ah,
mainly Death. So him and I stayed up there, and then we did the two Christmas shows with Death Angel. So that was real
yeah, I
fun.
remember you telling me you were doing
Yeah,
those.
yeah, those guys are always fun to work for as well.
Yeah. Well, we'll start with like topics first, then it'll probably just turn into a conversation, which is like my favorite part.
Yeah, totally.
That's what happened last time. Yeah. So, Nukem, tell me about that. That's got my interest.
It's a band I started in 2012 with a drummer named Norm Leggio. He was a band called Psychotic Waltz. They were like a big, kind of like a proggy sort of thing, but they were around early 80s, and they, done a bunch of European touring. They're awesome. But Norm I met working at his record store. He used to have a record store in here in San Diego called Blue Meanie Records. So I'd always go, as a kid, I'd go to his record store, and I met him and hung out with him and then became friends. And then we started playing in bands together. But yeah, we were doing a power metal band before that, and then we wanted to do a thrash band, go to like what we're meant to be playing, So him and I started that with our bassist Don in 2012, and we've been going strong with that. Put one record out in 2016, and it's been a long ass break since that first record.
Yeah, I'm awaiting new material. I checked it out. I loved it.
Hell yeah, thank you. Yeah, the new stuff is we actually just got our masters back yesterday, so we've been listening to those, and everything's done and fucking awesome. Like
All right.
smokes the first record, I think. I mean, I guess when you make a record, you always want to do better than your last work. You always want to progress and try to outdo yourself musically and lyrically and ability wise. You don't want to start getting worse as a band. So, it's pretty cool that
Yeah.
we're fully like 100% happy with this record. And Lee Altus tells me, like, because I kept making mix changes, and a writer engineer who was Ulrich Wild, who mixed it and tracked the drums as well. But I'd say, I got to make this little change. It's driving me nuts. He's like, you never finish a record. You just have to abandon it. Because
it's funny. Yeah, because I think it was during the Exhibit B, like when they were making that, which is my favorite album. It was either Gary or Lee who said that.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm thinking of it. Yeah.
Yeah, you just have to abandon it at some point and let your baby go off to college and be done. So we're at that point. We've abandoned it, but we're fucking happy. Super, super happy with the outcome.
That's good.
Yeah. It's good.
Yeah. Tell us about the like Solar endorsement too. That was I wasn't expecting to see that.
Yeah. Well, I've been playing. I kind of started with Jacksons as a kid, and then there was a point where I wanted to get like a white on white Gibson V, the white pickguard with the white, every white body and everything. And this was probably back in, I don't know, 2007, I want to say. And I want to say I've heard, I'm not 100% sure, but I think that was a slump in Gibson's years, like when they have one of their downfalls. But I went to Guitar Center and checked out one of the white Vs, and it felt like shit to me. Like, you could feel the edge of the binding because they didn't clear coat over the binding,
Yeah.
So it was like this weird finish, and the whole thing felt kind of clunky to me. And my drummer, there's another music store in San Diego called Music. It's like an independent little store. He told me that they had a Dean V, so I went and checked that out, and it's what I thought the Gibson was supposed to feel like. So then I kind of got on the Gibson or the Dean thing for a bunch of years, and I kind of started drifting away from like the old V look, and I kept looking at all the sharp guitars, and then I kept looking at the Solars, and they I couldn't stop looking at them. I was like, I was dating this, but I kept like side eyeing that. I'm like, I gotta check this thing out. So I did a blind purchase, and I bought that the super dime slime looking V, and when it showed up, it was fucking awesome. It was everything I wanted out of a guitar. Way better specs than any of my Deans came with. The lumen lay side dots, the stainless steel. I know it's kind of more of a modern thing, and that's, they didn't have that back when I was buying the Deans. But I'm super happy with the Solars. They're friggin' awesome.
No,
Actually, speaking of that,
see it in the back.
yeah, we're getting ready for rehearsal tonight, so this just showed up today.
Ooh.
Just black
Damn.
on black. So the plan for that is I have some, I'm going to get a gold FU tone bridge, the FU2, and I'm going to put all the purple hardware in it. Then I have some purple EMGs that showed up I'm going to put in there. And then some, black and gold tuners and stuff like that. Just kind of pimp it out, make it not so stock looking.
Yeah, I got
yeah, this showed up today, and it's fucking rad.
I've had this sitting here for months.
Yeah.
I'm waiting. I was hopefully going to have the guitar by Christmas, but it didn't pan out.
Which guitar is that going in?
It's a Schecter Sinister Gates one I had repainted.
Oh, nice.
So I talked a little bit about it when we met up.
That's right.
When I was playing Gary's Blue, I'm like, I know what my next custom is going to be.
Exactly.
Order
the officer.
Yeah, well, just the color. I'm not going to go with the gold in it. I was never much of a gold guy. I had one guitar with gold on it. Ironically, I sold that for my number one. Never part with it.
Yep.
It's mine forever.
Rad.
That was I was a Schecter guy for years, and I thought about ESP, but I never made the jump for a long time. Yeah. And that popped up for $800 in the beginning of 2020. That's a steal.
Yeah.
The hell with it. I'll buy it. I bought it, and I was surprised. I was scared to death when it came because the box was all damaged. Because FedEx sucks. I hate FedEx here. I was all scared. Pulled out of the box. Oh, it played like a dream.
Yeah.
So
the ESPs are awesome, or the LTDs rather, are awesome out of the box. We do a lot of the stage play guitars for Gary, and we've been on tour with other bands that do the stage played guitars. That is what it is, and I've seen other people struggle with brand new guitars out of a box where electronics don't work, and then you have a tech sitting there soldering shit the day of the show. It needs to get played, and it's just stressful crap. But pretty much every single LTD I pulled out of the box, which are fucking dozens and dozens of those things by now, they've all been awesome. Just minor things, like shipping where the pickup will just start to fall in a little, but it's just vibration, but nothing cosmetic, nothing electronics are all perfect order, and they do a real good job with LTD and ESP.
Yeah, I bought this one. This is a replacement, actually.
Oh, nice.
Because the one I got had a fret that wasn't seated correctly, and they're stainless steel, and it's brand new. I'm not fixing this, so I called them up and they replaced it. I was really disappointed through the whole experience though, because Schecter used to be top of the board. Because even Gary was with him at a time. I had his signature that ended up going to a friend and ended up getting signed.
Oh, nice. That black V, right?
Yeah. We were talking about that a little bit. That ended up going to him because it sat there. I felt bad, it needs to be used. So
I'm
then
I'm kind of at that point too where I have a bunch of guitars and I'm not gonna play in studio or live again, so I'm kind of letting some stuff go that that's not sentimental.
Yeah, that's where it is for me. If it's sentimental, it stays. I have my JH600 sitting over there. I haven't played it much, but I told my one friend that found it, I said, they're going to have to pry that from cold dead hands. That's not going anywhere. That's mine.
Yeah.
That's mine. I looked for that for so long, and the thrill of the hunt.
Rad. Yeah, just unloading stuff that, I'd rather see people play and use and enjoy than just fucking hanging on a wall and collecting dust,
Yeah, that's me. It's all got to be used somehow.
Yeah.
It's funny enough, Gary's mid boost I had, it just sat there in the box. Ironically, it ended up going to him.
Exactly. He was telling me about that, how he bought it because he doesn't have enough.
Yeah. Yeah, so we did the trade. I was just showing us off here, but like sign it.
Okay. Nice.
So I keep it there. I haven't used it yet. I'm like scared to use it. I don't want to change the settings.
Yeah. Yeah, the Proton guy kind of fell off the map.
Yeah.
Around, Gary can't get a hold of him, and so if he's watching, start making pedals again. Damn it.
I think I still have the signed card from over there because I did like some promotion for that pedal.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I actually still have the signed thing over there.
Oh,
it's just out of frame. Yeah. I can't point. There it is.
Yeah. Yeah, that mid boost is awesome.
Yeah, I loved it, but you start messing with EQs and that, you're like, ooh.
Yeah. Takes you
I have a Kemper. Yeah, I have a Kemper. You could just do anything on there, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, there's limits. I found limits through the third page. There's a good bit of limits there, but it's usually for some crazy stuff that like I'm not going to use that all the time.
Yeah, their limits they might have changed because I haven't done an update on my Kemper since they did that liquid profiling. Have you messed with that yet?
I haven't got around to it.
And I think that's supposed to make it more like when you get a snapshot of a profile.
Yeah,
you can't deviate from it too much. I think that the liquid thing lets you deviate more. But I haven't messed with it.
The main thing with the limitations I'm talking about is like certain effects.
Oh yeah.
Because with the third page, there was that album came out from Avenged Sevenfold. I want to do all these crazy effects. None of them were on there. Yeah. So I had to figure out all these crazy ways to get around it.
Yeah. So, just find some course that works or something.
Yeah. I wasn't paying no $3,000 for an Axe-Fx, and what would be the point? Because that's what they use.
Yeah.
Like with Gary's, it was kind of simple compared to that because it wasn't anything too crazy. It was just listening to it 1,000 times and matching it.
Finding that EQ.
Yeah.
Get that right.
Yeah, just get it tweaked in just right. I remember, I think he just joined too. My one buddy from Vegas, he was on call with me when I was doing the Jeff page and I was doing the Divine Intervention test.
Nice.
Half hour later, I was done. He's like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, that's it."
That's fine.
I said I was listening to it for a week straight.
Yeah, just kind of dial it in real quick and figure it out. Yeah, sometimes if you work on something too much, you get too laser focused and you can't see the bigger picture of what's going on. So kind of quicker, better almost sometimes with that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That. Funny enough too. Like the night that we were there, I peeking at the settings and shit.
Yeah. His pretty much the only thing. Everything stays pretty much the same as far as his rig, like night to night. The only thing that really gets touched is that mid boost. Like if something's not right, that's the first thing and only thing he really messes with. Unless the room is really weird, then he'll start
tweaking everything.
Yeah. And it's cool because he's a really, really hands-on kind of guy. I've worked with other bands before that, they're not happy with their sound, but they don't know what it is they're not happy about, and they don't know how to get what will make them happy, So it makes it difficult on a tech side because you don't know what they need to hear.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't know what he needs to hear, if someone's not happy about it, but you really can't fix it because they don't know what they're unhappy about.
Yeah.
But with Gary, he's really, he'll hear it in his head and he goes right to it and grabs that one knob and changes it. It's like, I'll just step aside and he'll turn it and then he goes back out and he's happy, So he knows exactly what he wants and that makes it really easy for me, Makes it easy to replicate what he needs all the time. So that's cool and fun on my part, it just makes things fun.
Yeah, it was cool too to see what I'll be doing.
Yeah,
that's the experience. I'm oh man, I can't wait even more now.
Yeah.
I'm getting a little more impatient.
Yeah.
They're playing a show tonight. So yeah, it's ironic we're both doing something at the same time.
Yeah. What are
I'm looking
rigs?
The Axe-Fx 3 actually.
Oh, okay, cool.
So I've been looking up videos and that, trying to learn it without spending the $3,000 to get one.
Yeah.
So that's a little steep for an amp for me. I'm happy with my Kemper.
I haven't really messed with Axe-Fx much. I've been around them, but I haven't really spent time, tweaking on them. I've worked with them so I can plug it in and that's the guy's rig and I'm with him for 2 days and that's it,
Yeah, they're pretty neat from what I've seen. Boatload of effects like the Kemper, but there's certain effects there that are just crazy. You got auto tune in that. Wow. That's a lot.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I've seen like how they're set up. Like, they have like this, like, it's like a grid almost.
Yeah.
Like you have the amp here, the cabinet here, your effects and all that. It's really neat.
Yeah. Yeah, the
So
quad super simple too. It looks
the Cortex, yeah,
like
I've
makes
seen,
sense to the guitar player's brain, so it's really easy to use.
Yeah, it's actually pretty similar.
Yeah, the Kemper's a little computer-esque, so you got to figure out what fucking goes where. Once you know it, it's easy and it's second nature. But when you're first looking at it, it's like, what is this thing?
that was me when I first got it. I was all excited, like, oh, I can't wait. I'm like, oh, I need a power amp. So I have to go get a power amp because I thought I bought the powered one, but I didn't.
Oh shit! Yeah.
So I had to go get the power amp, figure out how to hook it up. That was like my first head and cab experience.
Yeah.
Before that, I was like, oh.
What kind of power amp did you get for it?
I got a Rocktron Velocity 100.
I have one of those still. Yeah.
Yeah. Local shop had it for I think $100. So I went up there. 20 minutes drive, worth it.
Yeah, that's the 2-channel 120 watt, right? Is it something like that?
That is the 100 watt 2 channels. Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, those are awesome.
Yeah, it works well. It's been with me for years now. Since 2021, I think I got it. So I said, well, if I'm doing all this tone matching crap, I'm going to do it right.
Yeah. That's rad.
Yeah. But when I was there too, that was my first experience playing with a band. I had one hell of a band to play with.
Shit. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. When it was Mike Hamilton was playing drums.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, drummer for Exhumed. He texts for Tom.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome guy to tour with.
I was getting a feel for it at first. Okay. Yeah, it was fun. I still can't believe I got to play that guitar, man.
If anyone should play, some of that stuff.
I don't know about that.
I mean?
I don't know. That turned into my buddy's favorite too.
Yeah.
He was always upset. My buddy that was with me, he was always obsessed with the Blood guitar. That was his favorite. And he saw that one. He was like, oh, I don't know.
We were talking about it. The new V, that Blood one, or the?
No, the one that's painted in his actual blood.
Yeah, the Castiglia.
That one.
Yeah. Yeah, we
didn't
remember have it on last tour.
Yeah.
He's brought it out a couple of times, but
I know he says he likes to keep it at home. Yeah. He doesn't want it to get too banged up. I get that. It depends
on the tour. If we're doing a lot of real punk rock clubs where there's not a lot of backstage and stuff like that, he doesn't want to bring it, which makes sense because there's not a lot of safe places for things to be. But if we're doing a bigger tour where we're doing really nice clubs, security is really good and backstage is tight, so there's not random people walking in and out that can just swipe something and go. So it's He brought it out on the Slayer shows, so that was cool.
Yeah. I remember seeing Slayer the first time and seeing that guitar. I was, that. Oh man,
yeah.
Those two shows were awesome. Then Exodus came out and blew everything out of the water. Those are still the best two shows I've been to.
Which ones were those?
The Slayer ones?
Yeah.
I saw them May 20th, 2019 at Youngstown, Ohio. Yeah. Then November 12th that year in Columbus, Ohio. I had to drive both times. Because they were in Pittsburgh the year before, but I was still getting into all this big time.
Oh, yeah.
So
you never got to see him with Jeff, right?
What's that?
Never got to see him with Jeff then?
No, sadly not. But Jeff, his influence is pretty huge, to say the least.
Yeah.
Without even knowing it, things he's inspired. And I was telling you about the plagiarism thing, with that one guy.
Yeah.
And that's one of my favorite Slayer songs now because of it.
Yeah.
That's what started all. I remember being 8 years old, looking it up. Ooh, what's this song? And then years later, the rest is history.
Yeah. Yeah, Jeff was, I didn't know him personally. I didn't work for them back then. It was all boring, but, it's iconic stuff that, they did together.
Yeah. I remember, hunting down that guitar, too, his signature. I said, if I get it, all this trouble, I'm starting a page.
Yeah.
I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I don't care. I'm doing it. One way or another, I'm doing it.
That's awesome. So. Which one of your pages get more love? How do you separate your time for those?
Well, when I started this one, it started out as a side project. Because I didn't know how I was going to do that. It kind of blew up. Now I'm over it like over 3,000 followers. I'm sitting there. When I saw when it happened, I'm like, nah, this shouldn't have never happened.
Yeah.
Like, no, there's no way. Then the Jeff one, I started that. That was the next year after I started this one.
Yeah.
So I found the guitar. I was like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to keep my word. Then it was last year. I sold this off, ironically, for my guitar tech apprenticeship.
Yeah.
This was my first real one, and the guy had it. I had to beg him to get it back because, like, I can't do it without it because this has such sentimental value.
Yeah.
And so I got it back, and I said I was going to start another page. I asked my buddy about it beforehand. I'm like, should I really start another one? He's like, do it if you want. I said, okay, I'll do it. It didn't do as well. Then, like, with the Kemper proving its limitations, it ended prematurely. I'm not happy about that. That last guitar that's coming, that's the last project for it.
Yeah.
So, but this one's been popping off like crazy.
Yeah.
And it's done a lot for me that I never expected. I'm sitting there like, this can't be happening. Like, before I left for the show, I'm like, I still can't believe this is happening.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there all nervous, and you made it really easy. So,
we're cut from the same cloth, you know. It's like I grew up listening to them as well in Exodus, more so than Slayer. You know, I was more of an Exodus fan, you know, growing up. You know, I graduated in 2004, so I started getting into it in like high school, you know. So
that's me. I got into it like high school.
So, like, as, you know, Zet was leaving and Dukes was coming in, so I was kind of like, I was always, you know, more introduced to it as the Dukes thing, and then I had to go back and realize Zet was a thing, you know, for Exodus. So, you know, like, working with them was cool, you know. And they're cool as shit too, so it's nice that, you know, they say don't meet your idols and stuff like that, but, you know, they're fucking awesome, and
yeah,
I wouldn't back, you know.
I said that a few years ago when I first met Gary. I said the whole don't meet your idols thing is just bullshit with him, because he makes it so easy.
Yeah, with that whole Exodus camp, man, they're all so fucking awesome, and, you know, it makes it a joy to go spend a month in a tube with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of people, you want to fucking murder each other after a couple of weeks, but, you know, they're all really awesome guys, and it makes it easy. So that's, you know, why I keep going back, because they're all such good people.
Yeah, and, you know, another thing too is I like when you're a great example of this. Warren's a great example of this. Gary's like the center of this, but like the relationship between a tech and the guitar player is very important, I think.
I think so.
And
too.
you two shared it, like, seem to share like the same mindset, which is very important. Like we
have a similar sense of humor and similar, you know, just similar way of thinking. So I kind of feel like you got to get close with the person mentally and know what they need before they do, almost.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then keep that consistent. You know, it's just consistency is a big thing, you know, just to keep him out of his head and just focused on what he has to do. It's just fucking destroy everyone.
That's like when I did this with Brady, that was me and his first time ever meeting like that. So I was really nervous for that one, because that's a big deal.
Yeah.
And he made it easy. Like, we hit it off. It was only, he's like, oh, it's only gonna be about an hour, right? And it was almost 3 hours.
Shit.
And like, perfect. I'm thinking to myself, perfect. It seems like we hit it off. That's good.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So, one thing I do want to ask, see, like, how it compares to my story, at least, is, like, you're a tech too. So, like, how'd you get into all this?
Surprisingly, the Kemper was a big catalyst for it. I have a Kemper, and I got one, I don't know, back in 17 or something like that. I haven't been teching for very long. Surprisingly, I don't like to tell people that, because, you know, if you tell someone how long you've been doing something, they think you might not be good at it, you know?
Yeah.
But I've told people that I've toured with after years of touring with them when I started, they're like, oh shit, I thought you've been doing it for way longer than that. You know, it's just how you carry yourself. But I got a Kemper, and Gene Hoagland, he lives in town here in San Diego, and he knew that I had the Kemper, and somehow Eric Peterson found out that I had a Kemper. So when they came to do their San Diego Comic-Con show here at the House of Blues, Eric reached out to Gene if he could borrow my Kemper for the show, so he didn't have to fly in with so much shit, you know. And I was like, dude, I have guitars, I have fucking cabinets, I can get another Kemper. What do you guys need? I can hook you up, you know. So I pretty much supplied the whole back line, you know, my band did for that show, and you know, got to see Kevin Young, who was teching for them at the time. He worked a lot with Gary. He did that last Slayer tour with Gary too. Got to watch him do what he does, and I'm watching him like, I think I could do that. You know, that seems fucking fun. And then about, I don't know, maybe 2 months later, Eric called me and he goes, hey, I got a couple shows. I need a tech. Would you be able to do it? I'm like, sure. I use all the same fucking gear. It's the same shit. I know the rig. You know, it's gonna be easy. So I went in and did a couple shows with him, and then that led to filling in drum teching with Hoagland because his tech couldn't make a tour due to some family health issues, you know. So he had to step away for a tour, and I did a European tour drum teching for Gene. So my first show as a drum tech was Vakken for Gene Hoagland. It's like, that's a pretty high bar to start drum teching at. You know?
Well, that's certainly crazier than my story. Because
so it kind of all just fell in like that. And, you know, you meet someone, and, you know, then, you know, the monitor guy for Testament at the time was the monitor guy for Lamb of God as well. And I did some shows with Lamb of God, just 4 of them drum teching, and then, you know, worked for Death Angel doing drums. And I meet the Exodus guys, and I, you know, you kind of just like roots of a tree, you just branch out from there and meet people, and then people are like, oh, I got an idea, like, is this guy available? Let's reach out to him, and then you work for them too, you know. So everyone has their different like circle of friends, and it's cool because you can kind of, you know, branch out and meet a bunch of people that way and get more work too.
My experience was during the whole pandemic thing. So I had started this before I graduated, because I knew this is what I wanted to do. And I just kept grinding at it for years. And Craig and Lum became a pretty good friend of mine. I consider him a friend. I don't know if he would consider me one, but he was helping me out trying to find a tech gig with this, like right after everything started up, so everything's all screwed up. And it was just dead end after dead end after dead end after dead end. And then after that last dead end, it wasn't his fault clearly, but I was getting like pretty pissed. Like my luck was running out. I'm like, you know, my buddy, ironically, with the Slackjaw thing, we were listening to when the first single, their second album came out, and he said the weirdest thing to me, and he ended up being right. He said, I don't know why, but I just think you're going to work for these guys one day. Yeah. And that didn't even pop in my mind yet. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to message the guitar player, if I could speak. And so I messaged him, and he said, yeah, he's interested, because he said like they would get offers from like kids that just didn't know what they were doing, really. So that's how that happened. I'm like, oh, that's ironic.
Yeah, it's crazy. Once you get out there and you do tours with people, you know, you'll meet this band, you know, and this front of house guy, and then that front of house guy knows you, and it's all these connections just start happening. Yeah,
that Cragen said it's like all word of mouth.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's like the hardest part about getting in. But yeah, I'm excited to get on there. I'm hoping this year. I really am. I'm tired of sitting here waiting. Yeah. I'm tired of setting up my own stuff. Yeah. I want to do somebody else's stuff for once.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a little thing going here for a while that fell through recently. But like a lot of the feedback that I got from people like setting up their guitars and that was all positive. I was shocked.
Yeah.
So
that's the rules.
Like there was one dude like, this is the best setup I ever played. I'm like, really?
Yeah. So it's surprising a lot of players don't really know how to work on their own stuff.
Yeah.
You know, it's always been weird to me. Like the first guitar I ever got was a Jackson, the Dinky. It's like this Strat shape with a reverse headstock and bolt-on neck. Like I got that thing and it had a Floyd too, and I ripped that thing apart like within the first week of having it because I just wanted to know how it all worked. Like why does this do this? You know, what the fuck is in there that I didn't know as a kid? You know, I took it all apart and put it all back together and made it work again. And you know, I can't imagine not knowing how it all works and being a player.
Yeah.
You know?
My first guitar was a Washburn X Series, like a Strat knockoff.
Right.
I don't have it anymore, but it was a baseball bat neck and everything.
Yeah.
But I just want to keep going. Then you're eyeing up your Guitar Hero signatures and stuff. So I'm like, ooh, I like that one, and then you're like, oh no, I like that one, and I ended up buying that black and red one. And first time with the Floyd, it's all the way back because I didn't know how it worked. I'm starting to figure it out.
Yeah.
Like, if I change the string gauge,
yeah, it's gonna. If they're thicker, it's gonna do this also.
Yeah, it's gonna do this. If they're thinner, they're gonna go back. Yeah, I used to use like pretty heavy strings back then too, so it was going like that. It was like all the way forward. Like, uh-oh.
Like, why did I break it so high? What the hell? Freaking
back to get like stupid low.
Yeah.
And then Gary's influence, I was like, oh, let's bump it up.
Raise it.
Then
yeah, it's funny, we'll have a guitar, and the action will be right where it was at the end of the last tour. And then we'll have a little time off, and then we'll bring that guitar out again for the next tour. You're like, this action's way too high, and it's exactly where it was at the end of the tour. So it's like as time goes on, it just creeps higher and higher the more he's like really getting into it and playing, So
yeah, it's like when I played the Officer Hole, I'm like, oh wow, this is surprisingly low. It's like about standard.
Yeah, I was pretty early in the tour, so
yeah, I was like pretty shocked.
It goes. So
yeah, because mine used to be, I think, measurement wise, like 5/64 of an inch. Yeah. It was like my highest. Now it's like 2.5. I took it way down because I learned how to sweep pick and all that. I was like, I'm not fighting it.
Yeah, stop fighting it. I just let it play itself, sort of thing.
Yeah, big time. Yeah, I was not messing with that high string height. So now I'm getting into the radius stuff with the Floyds and that.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, oh boy, I'm going down a rabbit hole.
Yeah, well, it's like speaking like that. It's surprising. Like I'll get home from tour and then I'll start doing like home tech stuff. It's like setups and repairs for people in town, and like someone will bring in their guitar, and then you'll just look at it, like this, and you can see their strings are up and down, because like they took it apart themselves, and they didn't know that there's, they didn't know there's a radius in the individual saddles. So I'm like, hey, do you know that these are supposed to be, radius?
Yeah.
I didn't know. So I was like, why is this string so much lower than the next one? Because it's not at the radius,
Yeah, that's like when I got the replacement one, they didn't do it right in the factory because I'm playing and it's buzzing. I'm like, why is it buzzing? Like I had to send this one back too because there was high frets, and I'm not killing my tools over that. I mean, I could do it, but the black and red one, I did a whole refret on it. I'm like, why is it buzzing? I'm like, it didn't even come into my mind at first, like, oh, it's the saddles.
Yeah.
I just decided, I'm going to take one off, and there it was. Yeah. All out of black. I'm like, oh, I just put fresh strings on it, too. So I made it like,
blow them out.
Yeah, I'm like half tempted to take them all off.
That's funny. Yeah, it's probably Floyd that did that, and, they just popped in their guitar not even looking.
Yeah.
It's surprising they didn't catch it with the setup, and they're, intonating everything. And
yeah, you think that, like, raise a couple red flags.
Yeah. What's going on with this thing?
Yeah, but I get the ESP out of the box. It's perfect.
Exactly. Every time.
Every time. Like, even if it's 15 years old. I love that JH600. Like, that Kaler, man. I mean, I played Floyd's for so long, but I'm leaning towards the Kaler.
Really?
I am. I don't know if you've ever played one, but...
Yeah, I've never owned them, but I played them enough, and I've always, like, I started with the Floyd, so that's home. It feels right to my hand, But when I play a Kaler, I feel like the amount that you move with the dive doesn't coordinate evenly about how much the tone is changing, you know what I mean, or the tuning. It's like I feel like the Floyd is so direct. I feel like the Kaler just feels a little too loose. I don't know. No, it's weird. Like you have to move more to make it do more. When the the Floyd is just a little more sensitive in that. I don't know.
I get that. Yeah, I kind of get what you mean. I definitely feel more range with it. That might be one of the reasons why I like it. But like from a text perspective, perspective, it's genius.
Yeah.
You don't have to buy shims to radius the bridge at all. You just set it up like a hardtail sort of.
Yeah.
It's just genius. I love it. Because I was so picky about that when I was looking for it. I told my buddy, just keep an eye out. If you see one with a Kaler, send me the listing. And it ironically was the one I was looking for with the eagle inlays and everything.
Oh, rad.
So
that was awesome.
So it wasn't up for 15 minutes. I bought it. I was like, no, I'm not letting this one out of my grasp.
Yeah, that rules.
And I was looking at one of the new ones, but they're like almost $2,000. So because I was going to get his Heineken logo painted on it.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah, and I was like, well, if I do that, it's going to cost like $800 more to get it refinished.
Probably, yeah.
I can't justify that on a brand new guitar.
Yeah.
So wait for it to hit the used market like when it calms down.
Yeah.
That's like I want to get Gary's new one, but it's just that price tag's holding me back. That's about it.
Those things are killer too.
Yeah, I know.
I look at the ESPs and I like them a lot, and the reason I never went that way is because the ones I like the most are like the signature models.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
See myself playing live with someone's signature model, Like, I like having them, it's fun, but like actually playing live, I don't know if I would ever go out with someone else's guitar, That's their.
Yeah, I get that. Actually, I get that.
I got one of those right here.
Oh, don't show me. Oh man, yeah, because it was sitting on your bench when we were there. I'm like, I'm sitting there like, oh man.
Yeah.
Well, actually, when you saw me with my buddy sitting there and you walked by, that's what I was looking at. I was like, should I?
Yeah. That's right.
Like, because I paid $2,000 for that relic because it had like the stainless steel frets, the stainless steel inserts already, push-in arm. Because like when I bought like the GH600, the Eclipse one.
Yeah.
I bought the push-in arm, the stainless steel inserts. Like I buy all that stuff ahead of time. Yeah.
Before the guitar shows up, you got everything that's going on.
Everything's ready. Everything's ready. That's just how I am.
That's rad.
Yeah. Especially with the push-in arm. That's like because those regular ones, I start using it a couple weeks loose, and I don't like messing with that.
Yeah. Yeah. I've had those, but I've never really sought after them. I've always been fine with the twist on, But the push-in are cool because they have that little thread that you can dial in how much it swings.
Yeah.
I know Gary's the same way, but he doesn't want to let go of his bar and have it go whoop.
Yeah.
He likes to have it right where he leaves it, and I've always been that same way too. It's like if I use it and I leave it there, it needs to be there when I reach for it again.
Yeah.
The ones that are
pretty much the
super
same way.
You see guys running around and things swinging everywhere.
Kerry King.
I've never liked that.
His is always hanging. And I remember, I think it was Gary in some interview. He's like, I just want to go over there and tighten it real quick.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like I flick mine back, and like when I go to reach for it, it's always there.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
This makes sense. You stay where I put you.
Yep.
Be there when I come back.
Yeah. Because if it would swing, it just drives me nuts. It's like, well, where is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Funny.
Yeah, but I was looking at those things like when we were just sitting there between bands and like, oh, I was like so tempted. I like can't.
This one we got to the LA show was last, and we were doing the stage played guitars, so it wouldn't happen every day. There were kind of some days you'd get, or some shows you get like 2 in a row with the stage plays, and then sometimes you wouldn't have them for 3 days or 4 days, And then we got to LA, and I saw there was a couple on the list, so I had the last 2 or whatever, And I was setting them up in the morning, both of them, and he texts me. He goes, "Hey, you setting up those stage play guitars?" I was like, "Yeah, working on them right now." And he goes, "Okay, when you're done setting them up, pick one and keep it. Merry Christmas." I was like, "Oh, you fucking asshole! What the hell, I'm like, get in here. You're deciding which one I get. I don't want to pick."
That's cool, man.
Yeah, then I got him to play it on The Beatings Will Continue that night. So.
Oh hell yeah!
On stage played,
You know me. Like I said to him, you gonna be playing this one tonight and played Nan King completely wrong.
Yeah, he's all trying to play it. Yeah.
He's like, yeah. So, like, when I got home the next day, well, I was home the next day, but I got home that night. I'm thinking, well, tomorrow I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to learn it right, and I did. I don't know if I can still play it. It's been a couple days, but I'm going to learn it right. So hopefully I did.
Yeah, that record's awesome. I hope they play more often. That era.
I keep nagging him, please play it, please play it. I want to see it. It's like
that king for it.
Yeah, because that was the song that got me obsessed with the tone matching.
Yeah,
like, oh, I want that guitar tone. It's just mean.
Yeah, all the tones of those Dukes era records are really good.
More the whole era. Yeah,
more dark.
Yeah,
it was a little more moody. It wasn't just as aggressive. I mean, it was aggressive, but it wasn't like straight aggression. It was like moody and evil sounding and dark and still
like Shovelhead. Ooh, ooh, crunchy. Yeah. Like Captain Crunch leaves your mouth all ripped up. I loved it. Yeah, I loved Shovelhead, but Exhibit V always took the cake for me. Yeah. I think that was the one I knew the most songs off of too. I have a hard time learning Exodus songs. They're tricky. He has such a weird writing style. I say the same thing all the time because me and my buddy we're talking about I could play a billion songs from this band, but you get me to learn a Gary Holt song, I got to drill down on it for a couple months.
Yeah, his strange mentality. How he puts notes together, but it's always fucking awesome.
Yeah, and once you do learn it, it flows so naturally.
Yeah.
It's I'm listening to your stuff. I'm like, oh man, now I gotta learn this stuff.
Wait till you hear the real new stuff, because I don't know if I've just been indoctrinated into the listening to Exodus so much. Every fucking year we're doing 90 shows or something, so I'm hearing these songs and they're getting drilled into my head. But I have some stuff that's more savage like that. Weird kind of stuff going on.
And we'll be sitting there. How's this go?
Yeah. That's not as crazy as he is, but there's some really, really good stuff we have on the new album.
That's I'm excited. With his stuff, I refuse to learn it by ear because I know I'm going to screw it up, and I don't want to go back and relearn it. Because that happened recently with Slackjaw with their new stuff. I'm listening to this new single that they put out. There I am thinking I learned it right. I'm talking to Brave. I was like, oh no, you're a half step off. You got to tune down a little bit. Like, what? He's like, yeah, we always go to the first fret. I'm like, oh. So I got to sit there and relearn it while, oh man.
What do they have planned this year?
I'm not too sure about that yet. I am pretty sure there's a new album on the horizon. I got plans for that with them. I got to talk to them about that. Maybe a returning guest on here.
Nice.
But there's somebody else I want to get on here first. You know who I'm thinking?
Big man.
Because you asked me about it. I'm like, I haven't asked him yet.
I'm sure he will. He's real good at that stuff.
I'd love to do that. That'd be awesome. But I want to get Steve on there first.
Yeah.
So, because I was telling my buddy about it, back in, I messaged you in September, and I'm like, I want to do this. And just do it. Just ask him. So I said,
I've talked to a lot with my girlfriend about this, about, what's the old saying? It's a closed mouth don't get fed,
Yeah.
If you don't say something, no one's going to ever know your intent or desire for something, And what's the worst that's going to happen if you ask someone for something? They're going to say no, and that's it. That's the worst thing that's going to happen. You're not going to die or explode because someone didn't want to do, you know what I mean? It's just you be vocal about something and something cool might happen. That was the same thing with Solars. I bought that one and I hit them up. I was like, hey, do you guys, do artist programs? And they're like, yeah, sure, totally. I'm like, okay, cool. I could have just kept going on and didn't, ask them. But sometimes just asking the question, will get you closer to where you want to be,
Yeah, I always had this view, so I was younger, people weren't going to take me seriously.
Yeah.
It seems to be a little bit of a trend with some people. but like you, Gary, and Cragen, and all those other guys, Warren Lee gave me the time of day like a couple years back for this. The guys at Arachnid gave me the time of day.
Yeah.
So I'm getting like a little more confident, but no ego. I refuse to have an ego about it.
You know,
I'm very like hard on myself about that.
Good. I would say for me, I'm the same way. When I got into the teching thing, like, you know, you go do festivals and stuff, and you're around, you know, 20 other bands that day or whatever it is, you know, 10 on this stage, 10 on this stage. So you're dealing with those 20 bands and their crew and all the festival crew. So you get to see a lot of personalities. You know what I mean? You're dealing with a lot of people and having to work around them and not step on the headliner's toes and not let the other bands dick you on your space. It's a lot of stuff going on. But you meet a lot of people that seem like they don't want to be there, you know? And that was always weird to me. Like, people that are really rude about being there. And it's like, you signed up for this. You agreed to make this much money and go do this on this day. So what the fuck are you so mad about, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, when I got into it, is like, if I ever become that guy, I'm fucking done. I'm out. You know, I'm retiring. I'm fucking sick of this shit. I'll be done. Why drag my issues into someone else's, you know, good time? You know, so I just have to go out and have a good time doing it, you know, and I enjoy it and enjoy the people that I do it with. So it makes you want to keep going back, you know, and do a good job at it too. That's a big thing, but
yeah,
you know, you got to enjoy what you do. And if you don't, fuck out.
Agreed. Because like in high school, you know, you like, at least my experience, like I knew somebody that was very like had a very big ego.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why? Just why? Said if I told my buddy, I said, if I ever get like that, you knew who I was referring to. I said, please knock some of my teeth out, please.
Yeah.
Because I didn't tolerate them, and why should I tolerate it for myself?
Exactly.
I try to be like a team player, you know.
It's like you're only a guitar player. Don't take yourself so seriously, you know.
Yeah.
Like we play metal music and scream in a microphone. It's like, why do you need to be mad outside of the screaming?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Isn't that what it's for?
Just don't be a piece of shit and you'll be okay. You know?
Yeah, that's like if you would have messaged me like 5 minutes beforehand and said that you need the reschedule, I wouldn't have a problem with it. I would have been all pissed off. Yeah. I would have been like, all right, cool, just let me know. Yeah. And like I noticed, like I was kind of nervous about meeting you too, but you made it so easy, and I noticed that's like a trend right now. Yeah. Like everybody's just making it easy. Like, oh, this is shocking.
I wouldn't be surprised. Like I was saying, I wasn't doing a lot before, you know, pandemic, only like a handful of years. But I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people are just happy to be back and doing it. You know, because the period of time where people couldn't do it, I think it definitely shined a light on things for people that really didn't want to be doing it, so they kind of got out, you know. But the people that are still here doing it, I think they're grateful to be here doing it. So the mentality, you know, reflects that. And why do you want to be a dick to someone who's showing up to your show? You know what I mean? The people are always, you know, saying like, we'll be loading out, you know, the crew will be loading into the trailer, and kids will be walking by and they'll be like, hey, thanks for everything, thanks for coming, you know. And it's like, thank you for coming to the show, because if you didn't come to the show, the band wouldn't have a show to play, and we wouldn't have a job teching for them, you know what I mean? So it's like, it all stems off those ticket sales and, you know, buying the records and enjoying the music and coming out and buying the shirts. And so it's like, thanks to the fans of all the bands that we work for and play for and stuff, you know. So it just all stems back to that. So that's where all the gratitude goes back, you know. Don't thank me, thank you.
Yeah, I was like super psyched to be back there, like get to see that. And it just made me even more excited to do this stuff, because when I don't know if I mentioned it on any other like podcast or even on here in general, but when I thought about becoming a tech, like originally I wanted to go paint guitars because I have a background in that, like painting and advertising and all that. But like I got burned out on that after like 4 years of doing it. Yeah. So I was thinking to myself, you know what? I like setting up guitars. I somehow have like a natural skill for it, because like I remember taking my first setup into my guitar teacher's like, wow, this is like solid. I couldn't believe it. Like the first time, like messing like with it completely, like the intonation, the truss rod. You're like, wow, you got like a little bit of a knack for this. I'm like, really? So I'm thinking, you know, I'm like, like thinking like after those 4 years, like, what the hell? What? Just the hell with it. I'm going to try.
Yeah.
So, the biggest like difficulty was like getting my foot in the door.
Yeah.
And you hear that quite a bit from like other techs. And you just gotta have like some amount of luck. Well, my luck came in the form of a global pandemic that screwed everything up. Ironically, it screwed everything up, but got my foot in the door. So like, Gary like followed my stuff. Like, oh no way, Allie! I couldn't believe it at first.
Yeah.
What? I'm like, no way. So I start grinding away at it, and then more people start showing up, and then these big names are coming. I'm like, oh wow, okay, I really got to crack down now. And so I reaching out, and eventually I found a band to work for, and this is a band I like too. So I'm like, damn, this is like perfect.
Yeah, I think it's a big thing is liking the music that you're working for.
Yeah, because my mom always says, well, why don't you just go to country? Like,
yeah.
I mean, I like country, but I like older country. I don't like that new poppy crap that's out now.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't imagine working for some band that you just despise listening to every night,
Yeah. That make you hate what you do.
There,
Yeah, just make you hate what you want to do, and you don't want to do that. Because I love doing this stuff. I'm like an insomniac, so I'm up all night. So I just fall down these rabbit holes.
Yeah.
So
I'm pretty much the same thing. Like, I'll get something in my head thinking about some part. I'm like, oh shit, I wonder if they, shit. And then I get on my phone and the whole room's lit up. Shit. I'm supposed to be sleeping right now. I'm
the same way.
Who makes
same
this
way?
part?
Yeah.
I'm looking this up.
Oh, is it in stock?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Yeah, you gotta love what you do.
Yeah, definitely. And when it's music, it makes it easy. Enjoy it and stick with it, and makes it fun to enjoy.
Yeah, because like when I came across Slackjaw, I was just watching the guy who's in like frontman of it. He's a bass player and the singer now.
Yeah.
And I'm watching his YouTube videos because he does YouTube, and he like linked to his band. I'm like, oh, what the hell? I'll try. I wasn't expecting much. It just blew my mind. Like, these guys are newer, but they sound old school, which I love the old school sound.
Yeah.
That's
where are they from again?
They're from South Carolina.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And you're not in Pennsylvania, right? You're in.
I am in Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But where is that Persevering? Or
that's in New Kensington. That's like an hour and
okay.
some from me. Yeah, that was quite a drive.
Yeah, not bad though. I used to have to go to LA because I'm in San Diego. Like in high school, a lot of bands weren't coming to San Diego at the time, and if they were, it was a 21 and up place. Because the House of Blues was kind of coming in at that point, but we'd always have to venture up to LA. So that was a 2-hour drive to go see a show. And you're getting out at 1 a.m. and getting home at 4 and shit. So I'm used to that.
Yeah. Like when we were coming back, we set the GPS for no toll roads. That was a mistake. It took us only like where I live. It's all these backcountry roads.
Yeah.
And we were on like, oh shit, it's raining, and once we saw the high, like, yay, we survived.
Yeah, that's funny.
Because when on our way, like we were like a little late because they changed things around here. We took a wrong turn, like, oh shit.
Yeah.
But well worth it.
It was pretty rainy that night too, I think.
Yeah.
For us, where we were, at least.
Yeah.
It
was like that everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, like where we were at, like you could experience all 4 seasons in a week.
Yeah.
We were getting hit with snow earlier, like really hard.
Really?
Yeah.
We actually had a lot of snow on this tour. We did a lot of Canadian dates, and spent a lot of dates up in the north, and pushing cabinets through fucking snow sucks. But
I bet.
Yeah, you look at the load in, it's like you got to go around the block, around the corner, like fuck. Oh god damn it. Then we get back to California, everyone's smiling.
Yeah, it's warm. Yeah, like during Christmas and that, it was like pretty warm here. It was like kind of like fallish weather.
Yeah.
It was like maybe in the like mid 60s, and next week it's gonna be in the teens.
Oh shit.
Yeah. we get hit like pretty much in January. Like I remember being a kid getting white Christmases. We don't get that now. We get it in January.
Yeah, damn. Yeah, here in San Diego we get consistent.
Yeah. Must be nice.
It'll get a little cold. It'll get a little warm, but for the most part, it's pretty nice.
Yeah, I have a feeling next week we set all these up again. I just did it.
Yeah.
This weather starts going out of whack, and like, oh no.
And your fret sprouting, and
yeah, I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
it's quite the
speaking of that, the ESPs, traveling in between, cities with Gary's Customs, they're pretty damn consistent. There's not a lot of, big change that happens in the weather for those, You're only in the, climate for a certain amount of time. It's not like weeks in the cold.
Yeah.
So stuff stays pretty true and consistent. All the gear is real good, that they make. But
yeah, it's like my Hanneman when the season changed. I don't know what it is about that one, but it stays the same. It doesn't budge.
Rad.
And I'm like, ooh, it's consistent. It's going to stay the same. I don't have to worry about that one. I just got to worry about the other ones. And the Holt ones are pretty consistent too.
Yeah.
So and the only one that really isn't out of the ESPs is the black and red Gary Holt one. I don't know why that one's just when the season changed, like not having it.
Every chunk of wood's a little different,
Yeah.
So.
That white one's pretty solid though. That's been my number one since I got it.
I always like the white. The white ones are awesome.
Yeah. That one's got a little bit of a thicker neck too.
Really?
I don't mind it though. Yeah, because when funny enough, when I got that one, I went a little crazy. Like once I graduated, I went a little crazy. I bought a Warbird, the Willie Adler signature.
Oh, right.
And that one was the thickest out of all of them, and it's the same neck profile.
Yeah.
And I got the black and red Gary Holt one. That one was the thinnest out of those ones.
Yeah. He has a black and red one that was in Europe. I think we brought it home this last tour, but it was the prototype of his first signature with ESP.
Oh yeah, he posted about that.
That neck is fucking like a baseball bat. It's huge.
Really?
And it stays in the drop C tuning, but that thing is massive compared to what they wound up being. They're nice and comfortable now, but the thing's like a fucking brick.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing I'm picky about is how thick the neck is. But like that one, it's like a nice balance.
Yeah.
Like sometimes
the solars are pretty close to the way these ESPs are. They're pretty similar. They might be a little bit flatter, but not like an Ibanez flat. I never really liked the real thin wizard necks.
Yeah, I had one of those. I didn't mind it.
Yeah.
But I get what you're saying.
I want something there, but not this huge neck, but I want something to hang on to. But the solars are pretty close to that, I'd say.
I've been meaning to try solars for a long time, just never got around to it.
Yeah. Yeah, they're nice. I think that's the hard thing is it not being in stores. You got to find a used one if you want to try it.
Yeah.
That's why I did the blind purchase on the first one because I really wanted to see it, but I just couldn't get my hands on it until I actually had to order it. Yeah, this was that first one.
I love that dime slime.
Full-on dime slime.
One of my dream guitars is the washed burn dime slime one, the USA ones, but good luck. That's one of those good luck guitars.
Hard to find.
Yeah, that and the 3ST. I love those things, and
yeah,
it's finding them and how expensive they are. It's like the ESP MX250s. Oh, perfect Explorer.
Yeah.
You find one 17 grand, like, oh. Like, I don't know about that one.
The only thing I didn't like about these is they put the input jack on the bottom horn, so you have to plug it in down there, which didn't make sense to me. So a couple weeks ago, I, took the input jack and moved it over here. So I had to route the wiring, from the cavity behind the bridge and over here. And then I made the old jack location, the battery box, just to make use of it. Not be a hole,
Yeah.
So
you can throw EMGs in there or something?
Yeah, I put in the they're actually the
retroactives?
Root. Yeah, they're actually a Jim Root set. They're pretty rad.
Sound? I've always wanted to try them.
They're pretty rad. I like them a lot. I was talking to Tommy at EMG, and I wanted to see if they did the retroactive like the Super 77s, but with black pole pieces, because the Solars came with the Duncan Solars and they were all jet black, and wanted to keep that all black look. And he said, no, it's just the Jim Root set that has the all black. I was like, oh, damn, And I was like, oh, I'll get them either way. That's fine then. I was meaning I'll get the Super 77s. He thought I meant the Jim Root set. And they showed up. I'm like, fuck, Jim Root, what the hell? And I wrote, I was like, hey, I was wanting to get the 77s. He's all, just try them. You'll like them, don't you? So I tried them out, and they're rad. He said they're based on the Super 77s. They're just a little bit different.
Yeah.
But I think it looks cool. Just all black pole pieces.
Yeah, it looks
clean. Black on black with all the black hardware. That's why I wanted to keep that without having the chrome pole pieces.
Like, this has been sitting here for months now, just waiting.
Waiting to go.
I love that pickup. It's like the best passive pickup I've ever played. It's just so dynamic. I love it.
Who makes that one?
That's a Schecter pickup, actually.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay, I wouldn't know.
Yeah,
Brandon.
Yeah, I'm ready. Like if I get like a Explorer, some type, like get a set and just take the cover off and throw them in there.
Yeah.
Because I was looking at like the ESP EXs, and I want Explorer so bad, and I want a blue one. I don't know if I can wait to get that repaint. Yeah.
That dark royal blue that's on the Officer.
Oh. Yeah, I always thought like a little brighter we'd see it in person. Like, oh wow,
real rich blue looking.
Yeah, I loved it. And I always wanted
the red wine.
Blue, yeah, I've always wanted a blue guitar too. So I'm like, oh, this gives me an excuse.
Yeah, I went blue for a little bit. Let's see if I could.
I think you muted yourself.
Am I here?
Yep, you're good.
Let's see if this flips. Ah, it flips. Yeah, see, I went blue for a little bit.
Ooh. Yeah, that's nice.
So that's that first one I was telling you about, that's sentimental. It's the first one I bought that I thought the Gibson was supposed to feel like. And that's the rhythm guitar on both records. So sentimental, never go.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like, I regretted selling that one. I can't live without it.
How about that?
Hey, looks kind of like mine.
Yeah, it's the other one that he gave me a couple years ago.
Yeah, I remember you posting about that.
Yeah, it's killer. Oh, I flip it again. Yeah, blue's good. I like.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for blue. That's my favorite color. So.
Yeah.
That one being the one I got to play too. I was like, oh.
Yeah. I've always been more partial to green and purple, which I got some plans.
Funny enough, that's what I'm waiting on. I'm waiting on green.
Yeah.
Like when I get it, I'll send some pics before anybody else gets to see it.
Yeah. There's that.
Yeah, you posted about that. I was going to ask about that.
Yeah. Pretty awesome. Those are going to go in that. So
okay.
Not all murdered out, but just got those today. I went at
that's the
8160.
Okay, good set. Good set. I think that's what's in the Hanneman. Yeah, I love that set.
Really? Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I thought they
were like
online. They looked way more bright. When they showed up, they were a darker purple, which I like because I thought because they looked a little pinkish when I saw the digital picture of it, and I was like happy when they showed up darker. So I was stoked on that.
Yeah.
So I'll get that in here eventually here soon.
Yeah, isn't like
move as well.
Yeah, isn't like the 8160 what Hetfield used back in the day?
I don't know.
I think it is. I'm not too sure. I gotta brush up on that because there was at one point where I was considering doing a Hetfield page.
Really?
Yeah. There's one point like I used to hate Metallica, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Like I was like no. My tech teacher, like she was one of the people I asked, like, hey, should I do this? Like become a tech? She said, yeah. Ironically, her favorite band was Metallica. Yeah. We used to butt heads on it because I was a Slayer guy. And I'm like, Slayer's better. Slayer's better. I mean, they're still better in my mind, but like I appreciate like I always like them from Kill 'Em All to the Black Album. Yes, I like the Black Album.
That's good stuff. It's solid shit. You can't argue with it.
That production on that Black Album, ooh. I could sit there and just listen to the production all day. It's just so good. And then like I can appreciate like Load and Reload. Like I can appreciate stuff on there. And we don't talk about Funny Snare Album.
Don't mention
but
it.
yeah. But I've come around like even like just now I've won like 2 Metallica songs last year. So
I've always liked them. I was more on the Megadeth side of that argument, you know.
So was I. Like if I was like the pick, it would have been Megadeth, but now I'm not so sure.
Yeah.
I think
their complete body of work, you know, Metallica might have had better songs, but I think their entire body of work speaks better for Megadeth. You know,
I agree. Yeah.
You know, their win to loss ratio was better. I think. You know.
Yeah. But like,
he only strayed a couple times.
It's like it's funny too because like you look at the production of "And Justice for All" and the Black Album, like, wow. you don't realize like, oh man, because like you listen to one in full and the other in full, you're like, oh wow, the production on "And Justice for All" is mad.
Night and day difference.
Like
between
no bass. Like maybe every once in a while you hear it creep in just a little bit and. You got Lars sitting there. Nope. It's still on the sliders. Nope.
More toms.
Yeah, more toms, more snare. Yeah, but like when I listen to that album, there's a version on YouTube that has like the bass like almost perfectly in the mix. I have to listen to that one.
That's that Injustice for Jason.
It's a different version. I could always send it to you, but like when I play, like I learned "I Had the Beholder." That's my favorite Metallica song.
Yeah.
I said, well, I'm play along with that one. I want some bass.
Yeah, Havoc just did a cover of that on their newest.
I know.
And
I saw that. Actually, Slackjaw opened up for Havoc in October, and Brady said you're gonna like them a lot, and I was like, okay, I want to listen to them, but I'll wait until I see them, and I did. And when I was like looking through their stuff, I saw the new EP. I saw I Had the Beholder. Like, oh.
Yeah, they must have been working their way out to the Exodus tour. I think they did some headline dates.
They
going to meet up with Exodus.
I think they did a couple of those, and Slackjaw was on one of them. Like, oh wow, Havoc, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've heard Havoc in passing like a few times. Like I like them. Then like I saw them live, like oh, I really like them.
They're real good.
That's like my thing. Like if they gotta sound good live if I'm gonna get into them.
Yeah.
Because if they don't sound like. Some bands, like, you'll listen to them, not like throwing shade at anybody, but you hear some bands and they don't sound like even remotely close live. Like, you go see Exodus, you're getting that record experience. Exactly. You go see Slayer, you're getting that record experience.
Yep. Honest music, honest people doing what they do, and that's it. What you hear is what you get. And, I like Exodus' stage approach. They're like, I would say they're like a football team, like an offensive line. They're fucking blitzing, and like they find the holes and they attack the front of the stage, and you know they're not just fucking sitting back and some guys play and they're just way too relaxed, like they're fucking at your throats trying to get you into it, you know. And it's I've always thought that was a cool approach.
That's
blitzing the crowd.
Like I told my buddy. I said, I don't know about you, but for Exodus, I'm getting up close. Got up as close as I could without getting in the pit because of the signature on my leg. Yeah, I got it tattooed. Gary's going to kill me. He's like, don't get a tattoo. Don't get it tattooed.
Try not to slip on the puke in the pit.
Oh, there was beer everywhere. And all of a sudden, you have one guy coming up to me with one of those camping flasks full of whiskey. Man, you can smell it. I'm like, no, I'm good. I got to drive.
Rad.
Oh yeah, but that pit like it was getting out of control like during and then there were none. All of a sudden I'm getting crushed.
Yeah.
Like you got to keep an eye on the sky. You got to watch out.
You fucking kick in the back of the head.
Yeah, that venue was nuts. It really popped off.
Yeah. They're not ready for that sort of thing. You know?
Yeah, it was like I'm like, oh wow, that's getting crazy. Because like the first time they didn't play, and then there were no. I was like a little bummed because that's like my favorite off Bonded. Like I know how to play that riff. I knew how to play like a good chunk of that song too.
Yeah.
Never finished it.
It always goes.
I love that song. Making sure I learn it right too.
Yeah, that's funny.
But yeah, that show was great.
Yeah, it was a fun, really fun tour. Havoc were a bunch of good dudes, and pleasure to tour with, and Exodus brought production out for the first time in a long time. Having a light guy and bringing lights out and trying to make an experience, which didn't happen so much the one you got to be at, because they didn't have a backdrop bar or anything like that. And
real small place.
Yeah, it was more punk rock at that show, but the ones that we got to really bring the whole production in, it was cool to see them do that again, and I think they all had a good time with it, and enjoyed having more visuals instead of just cabinets.
Yeah. those cabinets are sick though. Oh, that was
you can't beat a wall of Marshalls.
Nope, you can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the sickest when Slayer was doing what was it, 4 high?
Yeah.
Like 6 wide per side or something crazy. Fucking awesome.
Yeah. And that was like, what, 2011, I think they were doing that?
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that, yeah. Ironically, that'd be the year he joined and the year I discovered Slayer for the first time. Right. Everything in my life is like weird connections. I don't know why.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. But just overall great experience.
Yeah. You planning on doing Louder in Life next year?
No, I looked into it this year, but it was like just too expensive. Yeah, I wanted to do it.
You didn't go this year.
Yeah. Because we actually, me and my buddy were going to see Avenged Sevenfold, and that's when we looked into it because we had time to kill. Let's look into this while we got some time, and like, oh shit, just traveling in that, and just wouldn't pan out, sadly. Yeah. So I need to catch Slayer again. That's why I said to Gary, tour.
Tour. I know they have that one Louder in Life rebooked, so that would be cool. Go do it again next year.
I wonder if they'll play the same set or different songs.
I would imagine they would switch it up.
I hope so. I want to see more Divine stuff.
Yeah.
That's still my favorite Slayer album.
Yeah. There was nothing off Divine on this set, was there?
There was. 213.
213, that's right. There was one.
213.
They hit something off of every record but one. What was the one record they didn't do?
Probably want to say Diablos.
Yeah, exactly. They did.
Yeah,
they did song, at least one off of every record but that one.
Yeah, that album, like, some people hate it. I used to hate it.
Yeah.
Like it felt different, but over time, like, it grew on me. Sometimes it's just one of those things where it just has to sit there and grow on you for a bit.
Incubate for a little while.
Yeah. It's one of those albums, but like when I went and saw them, I think they played Stain of Mind, and that's what like started like, okay, I'm gonna give this album another chance, and over time, like, okay, I like it. I bought it. I own it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Divine was always like it's like it's the black sheep of the family. Like, it should be counted with those classic albums, but isn't. It should be. It's so good. Yeah. I get the production on it isn't ideal, but it fits.
Well, I mean, that's like Bonded. That's their most iconic record for Exodus. Was the production there?
No. No, but it's iconic as hell.
But the songs speak for themselves, and you didn't need the production, to have the energy that it had.
Yeah.
In the, I don't even want to say the energy, just like the magic it had.
Yeah.
It stood the test of time, even though it has terrible production. Everyone still
they re-recorded it later, but it still doesn't touch the classic.
Exactly.
I mean, you can't beat Bailoff, man.
No.
You just can't touch him. He was different.
I know they were talking about when they did that re-recording with Dukes. I think the original intent was to do that with Paul, and then it never got to happen. So they wound up honoring it and doing it with Dukes.
I think you're right. I think at one point it was supposed to be Paul, but I think at another point it was supposed to be Steve. But he kept saying no. He didn't want to do it. He didn't want to touch it. Yeah, I read it or heard it somewhere. He said he didn't want to touch it. It's just too iconic.
Yeah,
and
it's cool hearing those songs with that production, though. Obviously, it didn't have the spark like the original did, but it had the good production.
That's like when I play along to like Bonded by Blood, I play along with the re-recorded version because it's in D standard.
Exactly.
So this one's in E, so I could play it with the original now.
Yeah.
But usually it's in D.
And it's all in tune.
Yeah.
Like.
But I usually play along with the re-recording just because it's in D standard. But if like I get the chance, I'll play it in E with the original. Yeah. It's got a vibe, and that's like I always say too. Like to me, it's still the first thrash album. It's not Kill 'Em All. It's Bonded by Blood. It's really what started it.
We asked a lot of the old school guys, and that's their pinnacle for them. Like Bonate came out recently saying that was his all-time favorite thrash record. A lot of guys hold that in the highest of regard.
Yeah,
production.
Yeah, that's like you hear people say, "Oh, well, Metallica started thrash." I'm like, no, don't get me started. It was Exodus.
Yeah.
I'll give Kirk Hammett his props because he was in Exodus first.
Yeah.
But it was Exodus that started it, and Gary was the forefront of that big time.
Exactly.
Like, oh man, he did nothing but cook. Like my favorite classic album always goes between Pleasures of the Flesh, Fabulous Disaster, and Impact. It's always one of those three. It'll just bounce between those three. Yeah. But Bonded by Blood can't be touched. It's
the guitar tone on Impact though.
That's when we were at Preserving, I've been looking for that album forever. They had it, so I bought it.
Yeah, they had a bunch of those reissues posted.
I'm like, nope, bye. I'm getting that. Because I was looking at it on.
Coming out the gate, like fucking in your face guitar tone. It's fucking sick.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I gotta get it. I'm tired of looking. Because I was looking at it on vinyl and stuff, and people win $120. I'm like, I'm tempted, but no. If I had a solid setup for playing records, hell yeah. But I'll stick with the CD now.
Exactly.
But modern albums, it's always Exhibit B. That's the pinnacle for me.
Yeah, they need to play more off of that one again.
Yeah, I love the new album Persona non grata, but Exhibit B, man, that one's sentimental to me.
Savage record.
Yeah, I love it. Ironically, that's the name of the amp that he used too, the Angle Savage.
Yeah.
I was looking at that head when I was 16 years old, ooh, I need to buy one.
Yeah, I have an Angle E530 preamp, and I run that into an Angle the 2100 power amp, and it's pretty fucking rad too. Probably gonna go the Quad Cortex route, and then use the Angle for power amp, but because we got some shows on the horizon that we haven't announced yet, but I was hoping to be able to talk about them today.
Hopefully some near me. I'll swing out for that.
Damn booking agents and shit can't get their stuff together to be able to announce the shit, It's like holiday break. Everyone gets lazy around the holidays, and it's just schedule, coordinate announcements, and then you can announce it and start selling tickets for shit. And nothing near you for now, but we're working on that too.
I'll be out there.
Once we get the record out, and hopefully do some stuff again. Hopefully this year.
Yeah, if I'm not on the road, I'll definitely be out.
Yeah,
I'll definitely make.
I'll send you some stuff too. You'll like it. It's fucking.
What's that? You cut out there.
I'll send you some of that new stuff too.
Oh hell yeah!
So.
I can't wait. I can't wait to hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what else you got planned for the year? Trying to do the Slackshaw stuff if they.
Yeah, I'm really hoping we get to hit the road together this year. They've had mini runs. Yeah. I like to call them. Last year they had one. The year before that, the year before that, when they announced it, I was all excited. Oh, finally! And I'd start looking at days oh no, this ain't gonna pan out, is it? Because there's a big week gap.
Oh shit! Yeah.
I was this close. Then the last year was the same situation. 2025 is my year. I just know it. I've always had a feeling about this year too. Yeah. So Like, come on, I gotta be ready for it now.
Well, you're ready now.
Yeah. I mean, I got everything set up. I've had it set up for like 2 years.
Yeah.
Got like my case and all that set up.
Your briefcase, like the tech
I got a
box.
Pelican
Nice.
case all set up.
Is that the Circle 3 one?
I forget which one it is. It's right over there and the lid's up right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got everything set up in there. Like, probably a little overkill too, but it doesn't hurt.
More stuff, is good.
Yeah.
When you need it, you got it. It sucks. You're like, I have this at home. I fucking need to do this now. I don't have it. So,
yeah, and like I'm always extra prepared.
Yeah,
so.
definitely.
And that's like that little trick you showed me a few years back. I still use it to this day. Get those frets nice and shiny.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That
Man.
3M stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got like a couple months back. I got somebody's Ibanez in, and those frets. It was from the '90s, and the frets are all like rusty and nasty. Couple passes over. Oh hell!
I pulled out.
Yeah.
Bought a while ago, but I'm running out of it, so I got to start cutting it up. And I'm running low on my stock.
Yeah, I try to stay stocked up on stuff.
Yeah.
But like I got an Ibanez, like the frets were all like they were terrible.
Yeah.
When I was done with them, they were like a mirror. You couldn't tell.
Yeah.
And I was like, man.
Yeah. What'd you do to these?
Yeah. The guy couldn't believe.
Yeah.
The guy couldn't believe it. He's like, "What's your secret?" I said, "I ain't telling."
Yeah.
So no, here's what I use.
Yeah. That's rad.
Yeah. Because like no matter what I tried, I could never get those frets like shiny.
Yeah.
Like that, like brand new. Then I saw you did it. Like, I'm gonna ask him, and you told me. Ever since
6 different microns.
Yeah.
Once you run through all those, it gets fucking shiny as fuck.
Yeah. Shines in the light, certainly will go blind. But yeah, they get all buttery smooth.
Yeah.
The only
3M.
ones I really haven't had to do it on is like the stainless steel frets. That's about it. Those stay like pretty shiny.
Yeah, you just gotta kind of go through the last couple colors to.
Yeah, just to polish them up a bit.
Yeah, they don't get as like, dark,
cloudy. Yeah, because like every time I restring, like usually I do like my restrings like every 3 weeks, depending on how much I play.
Exactly.
If I play a lot, maybe it'll be a couple weeks, but usually I make sure to do like at least like one pass with like the lowest grit.
Yeah.
Or the highest grit in this case. Stuff. Just just to make sure it's just gonna stay shiny. Yeah. Like I get this custom back like before I sent it out. It's like one of those purchases like sold it back in the day, regretted it. Couldn't get the exact one, sadly. Like that one's the exact one I had, and this thing was so beat up. And before I sent it out, I had to do a fret level and that on it because they were like all. So I'm like, okay, well, when I get it back, we'll probably need to shine up again.
Yeah. The Solars came with the stainless steel frets too, which are fucking awesome.
I've noticed a difference while playing them. I think the new Gary ones have them too, right?
I think so. Yeah.
My local shop last year became an ESP dealer, so I'm waiting to walk in there one day and like, oh, they have it. Okay, here's my card. Because he said they had the white and red one. He said like it sold out within a week.
Oh shit.
He said they couldn't keep them. They had a couple of them, and they just couldn't keep them.
Yeah.
And he said too, if I want to get the new one, he'll give me a discount because I've known them for years.
Rad. I'm hoping they do the white in the V.
That's what I'm waiting for. I asked him about it. I can't say much, but because
it's just the natural progression. You think they would, right?
Yeah, that's the one I want. That's the one I'm waiting on because that white and red Eclipse is just I love it. The board's like pitch black. It's just perfect.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting to get the V in that color because I was like tempted to buy the black and red one, but like I have too much black and red already.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my favorite color scheme, but I need the white and red one.
You're gonna need one more. Just admit it to yourself now.
Just one more.
Stop lying to yourself. You need one more black and red.
Yeah, it was just one more. I said if I get the black and red one, that black and red Eclipse is going and getting the blue and red.
Oh, nice.
I have like planned out like if that like I said like once I get off the road for the first time, I'm gonna take that like first like part of that first paycheck and treat myself to something nice, and it's gonna be that V.
Hell yeah.
Because my one buddy out in California, he wants it too. And he's like,
Yeah.
Price tag just hold me back because he got into the Japanese Ibanez stuff, and
Yeah.
he's been obsessed with that ever since.
Yeah, that stuff's not cheap either. All the Japanese customs and stuff like that.
Yeah, I start looking. I'm like, no, don't.
Yeah.
I'm like, don't go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Because
Go ahead.
Like certain like models I was looking at, like those checkers,
Yeah.
like 2018, you could get them like at a reasonable price. Now they're just out of hand.
Yeah.
Like that black and red one, you can't find that probably under $2,000 anymore.
Yeah.
Just because of the color.
Yeah.
So I got mine at like the perfect time. Then I sold it like a dum, but I had to. But then I ended up buying it back.
Right.
And I think around 15. So.
What was the price difference on what you sold it for?
It was about the same because it did go up in value, and I wasn't going to miss out because I didn't want to let go of it. Because when I listed it, I listed two different ones. I listed that one and the Warbird. I said whichever one goes is going to pay for my apprenticeship.
Yeah.
Then like a year later, my buddy's like, "Oh, have you listened to Avenged Sevenfold much lately?" The one that was with me. I blame him for it. I'm like, you son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Now I'm like trying to get it back because like I didn't think about it for a while.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I'm missing that thing. So I had to buy it back and did all sorts of mods to it.
Yeah.
I put the originally those red stainless steels were on the black and red one, but then I put new pickups in it. Same ones that I just showed you.
I gotta show you this. My buddy brought it over for some work, and I gotta write Tony at ESP and find out if I can get some info on this thing. But look at this.
Oh wow, that's wild. That's different.
What the fuck is this thing? I've never seen this. It's like a lefty headstock, right?
Yeah.
But it's printed like a lefty on a right-handed guitar. It's a bolt-on, so I don't know if that's the way it was supposed to come.
That's
Can't really
crazy.
tell, but like there's a little kill switch here, and on the back it has like a built-in Coke mirror.
That's crazy.
It's a fucking built-in Coke mirror for the fucking guitar. That's the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life. But the whole thing is fucking weird. But it's cool.
Oh man, the input jack is that's
yeah.
bugging
You
me.
think they put it here? It's right on the front.
Oh, that's bugging me.
And the wicked ass like Fender style headstock, but more savage, you know.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I got to write Tony and find out if he knows.
There's no way that's not a one-off. There's no way.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like a Japanese thing. Well, yeah, there's nothing that says anything. No model number. It has
That's crazy.
ESP backplate, so I don't think it's fake.
No, I don't know if it was just for the Japanese market and somehow he got it, or
Coke mirror is what gets me. It's
yeah,
like enough,
Coke mirror.
enough for a single line, like in between songs, you like lay it out. It's fucking rad though.
Yeah, it's neat. It's unique.
Yeah. I've never seen anything like it, so I got to find out some information on it.
Yeah, but
when
I got it back, I bought the new pickups for it because I never tried them. I hated the Invaders.
Yeah.
I don't know why. They're just so muddy. I didn't like them.
Yeah.
Then I bought these like inlay stickers for it because I wanted the blacked out look. Just looked nice. It just looked nicer.
Yeah. Is that on every inlay or just for the 12th fret?
Just for the 12th. Actually, well, it's all across the board. It's just blacked out, so it looks like ebony. So here's what it looks like underneath. Looks like that, but it's just plain white.
Oh, okay, cool.
I get a lot of shit for these ones.
Yeah.
You either love that man or you hate him.
Yeah.
I don't.
I know they're real good players.
Oh yeah, Insanity. Like I said, like Gary and Sinister Gates and Jeff are like my top three. Like you know, like Sinister Gates is like
I never really
like
hate them. You know, I just didn't really lock into.
Yeah, I get. Yeah, I get you. It's like they change every album too.
Right.
That's like a lot of people did not like their newest one because it was weird. But I said to somebody like if you have like a diverse music taste, you benefit more from it. You'll like it more.
Yeah.
Because it'll go from like there's Slayer influence on it on one of the songs, but there's also like an EDM influence on it. It's very weird.
Crazy.
Then the last song's like a Frank Sinatra song. It's so wacky. I love it though. I love it. Like I learned how to play some of it.
Yeah. I'm trying to get my phone plugged in here. It's dying.
Oh shit! I haven't even checked mine.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine's still pretty good.
I'm plugged in as good, so.
Yeah, but yeah, I get a lot of shit for those guitars, but I don't care. That was like I got into them because I played a lot of Call of Duty back in the day.
Yeah.
I don't anymore. They suck. I don't play a lot of video games anymore because I got into all this stuff. Takes up all my time.
Yeah.
But I'll take this.
Definitely. It's a healthy addiction.
Yeah, it's a healthy addiction. Yeah. But that's how I got in. Like at first to metal, really.
Yeah.
I mean, I dabbled with it. Like I do, like Van Halen. Like I consider them metal. They're like hair metal, but
yeah.
But like yeah, big time. But that I got into them, and then I went down the rabbit hole. So that's how that started, and that black and red one was my first one. Yeah. Then I got into Slayer and that. Hunted down Gary's V forever.
Yeah.
That thing was a pain in the ass to find. I ended up finding it in my state, so it cost less to ship it.
Yeah.
Which was nice.
Then, we do the meet and greets, and I help them run that VIP meet and greet thing. And you'll always see the ESPs come in and people want to get them signed, but rarely. Actually, we never saw for tours. Never saw any of the Schecters. In this last tour, we saw like 4 of them, 5 of them. It's like, holy shit.
That's surprising.
Yeah.
They
were bringing them out all of a sudden,
They don't pop up much. Like mine was a pain to find. Like my white whale is still that blood splatter.
Yeah.
Twice both times out of the country, and I thought about it. I was like, it's worth it, but like, no, the import fees are gonna kill me.
Yeah.
So like I thought about it, but pops up in the States, I'll buy it.
Yeah. That was cool seeing some of the Schecters make it out though. Like they're out there.
Yeah. They're still out there. It's just people don't want to let them go. I was very hesitant to let mine go. I said if I was going to let go, it was going to go to somebody I know. Yeah. And that's ended up what happened because he wanted it for a long time. My buddy, I think his name's Juan. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. But he ended up getting. He's like, I'll take it. I said, okay, it's yours. You wanted it for how long? I know you're going to take care of it because I didn't want it to go to somebody that's just going to throw it down the flight of stairs as soon as they get it.
Somebody it's going to be in good hands and get used. And
it's going to get the love it deserves because that thing sounded good.
Yeah.
It felt pretty good. Like Schecter necks are kind of baseball daddy by nature. They're not like that anymore.
Yeah.
But like back then they were. Like that black and red one there, it's pretty thick. Like that one was like that, but it felt good.
Yeah. Not too big.
Yeah. Yeah, not too big, not too skinny. Like sometimes you get one that's like just too skinny.
Yeah. Then, they really got those Ibanez necks that are super.
I had one. I think when you're first starting out, really, it's nice, but after a while, you want something that's just right.
Yeah.
But then, like the JH600, that one, no, that's not going anywhere. That's mine.
Yeah.
That's mine.
Rad.
I won't let go of that one. You know what? Let's grab that one. I need to change the strings on it. I'm lazy about that with this one because you have to solder these ones so they don't snap. So I play really light strings. I play 9s because of Gary now. I used to play 10s.
Yeah.
Still an E flat.
Yeah.
Yeah, they need changed badly. Brett's need shined up.
Yeah, that one's rad.
But yeah, I love this thing. Yeah, I put the stainless steel screws here.
Yeah.
Then I changed the rollers to be like Jeff's with the steel ones. They were originally brass.
Yeah.
Then, I'm not big on gloss necks, but I just kept this one gloss because of the rarity.
Yeah.
The other ones are all satin,
Yeah, I saw you sanded down your GH 600s.
Yeah, I did it on all of them. This one feels better. I did it on this one too. You can't really tell on here though.
Yeah,
it's white.
Yeah, look, good job too. The way where you're, where it stops.
Yeah, I
Tape
actually
line.
I actually tried to save the binding on this. It worked out. It does not as clean as I'd like it to be,
Yeah.
but I could always go over it again.
Yeah.
This one though, this was the first one I did it on. Because my buddy Justin, Sinister Metal Guitars, I'm sure people on here will know him.
Oh yeah. I've seen his page.
He's the one that started it, and I'm like, I thought about it, but like, I don't know. I don't know if I could do that. It just feels wrong. It feels wrong. Like I did it on this one, and
Nice.
I've actually had to do it twice on this one because I played it so much.
It
And
re-glossed itself.
yeah, it re-glossed
You buffed it back.
itself. Oh my gosh, shit! I gotta tape it off again and sand it again, and oh, it was worth it though. I can't go back because I bought this one, which is a satin finish. It's just starting to gloss in a bit. Then that custom one I'm waiting on, that's a satin finish too, so it's going to do it eventually.
Yeah.
Then, and I do get that one refinished, that black and red one. It's going to have a satin neck.
Yeah.
I have to have that now. It's like a crutch. Yeah, with the blue. Make it a little bit mine. I'm not going to rip Gary off completely.
Yeah. Gotta grab though.
Yeah, that's like when I got that light and red one, like a couple weeks later, somebody put one up that was already blood splatter. I'm like, son of a bitch, I wish I waited.
Really?
It's kind of sick. Yeah, I was like, I should have waited. Because it was between that white and red one and a JH600 tribute, the limited ones they did in the camo.
Oh yeah.
But I didn't want to mess with the Kaler at the time. That's ironic because I bought that one because of the Kaler.
Yeah.
I was so picky about that, and I went with the white and red one. I wouldn't change anything, but I'm so pissed. I missed out on that. I've still been looking and no luck.
It'll come back.
And if I find one, they're super expensive.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah. But what picks do you like to use?
I'm actually using. I actually have one of the blank ones around, but they're the. I've been using the. I forget what they're called. I think they're Durlin, but it's made by D'Addario. So I order them straight from D'Addario's site. But they're the sharper versions. They're not like regular, Yeah,
I like sharper picks too. Actually,
there's like the regular shaped guitar picks. These are a little more like. Let's see if I can line it up. A little more pointed than like a regular one,
Yeah. Okay.
Just a little more, but it's the same size. It's big, but it's not like,
That's like I used to use they're like Tortex 88s, but they were from D'Addario. They were like my own custom ones.
Right.
I gave one to Gary a couple years ago, and I've been finding a bunch of them lately. But I ordered these a couple days ago and got them today. They're like Dan's Guitar Store or something. They're like precision and they're nice and pointy. You got the bevels on them.
Yeah, I like that sharper tip. On that,
Yeah, I used to be more the round, but like I started getting back into the sharper stuff. Like, oh, it just feels better.
Yeah, not as clunky.
Yeah, I like my pick to just glide.
Yeah, and thick too. Like 1.14s or even none of that 88 stuff. It just feels so thin to me.
These are. I was using the Ernie Ball Prodigy ones, the mini ones.
Yeah.
They were a 1.5. These are a 1.6. They're just a little bit heavier.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't use those skinny, like, flimsy picks.
Yeah. Or
no thanks.
Or this Jazz 3s are too small, too. Like, it's not enough to hold on to.
These are about the same size as those. I get more control out of them, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to use the Tortex 88s like Gary, but after a while, I was like, I can't,
Yeah.
I'm not a good lead player. I'll say that. Like, if I was to play in a band, I'd want to play like rhythm strictly.
Yeah.
So I love playing the riffs. What's that?
He's the same way. If he says if he has to pick one, he's playing riffs over leads.
I'm with him on that 100%. I could play lead like decently, but it's not my go-to.
Yeah.
Like I'm not like some of these players were like super geniuses. Like I hear your stuff, like shit, I don't know if I could play that.
Yeah. I'm okay with leads. I definitely writing riffs is more fun than writing solos to me. I struggle writing solos. I fall into a rut and kind of do the same thing, but
yeah, I noticed that's what I did. Yeah. That's like I challenged myself to rewrite a solo for a song I learned. I did okay. I did okay. It wasn't perfect.
Yeah,
it was within my abilities at least.
Yeah. It's funny, like talking about picks, like Gary has, his 88s.
Yeah. I got actually I have a pick tin here with the ones you dropped in my hand. They're all in there right now. They're helping hold the phone up right now.
Yeah, he'll get a warm-up pick. The guitar that goes to the dressing room that he warms up on, I'll give him the stage pick that day with the warm-up guitar, and he'll warm up with the guitar or with the pick he's going to use on stage, so it's broken in. He doesn't like a brand new pick, so it does get a little more worn down, like a sharper pick, but it's not as drastic as a sharp one,
Okay, I get that.
And he'll use that one pick for the entire show.
Oh wow!
Unless he drops it and loses it, which has happened a couple times. I fucking dropped the pick. I give him a new one, So like
I get that. Yeah.
Like going out with really fast stuff, like when they were opening with Impact. Like he hated having a brand new pick. It has to be that one.
It's caught up. Yeah.
So he breaks it in, warming up in the dressing room, and then comes out with that same pick. So.
Yeah. I'm trying to break this one in now.
Yeah.
Trying to get all gets caught up a little bit. Like,
Yeah, and you probably know he would always do the I don't think I have any around, but we always score the picks, Like
yeah. I think you showed me that.
Yeah, but since let's see, for Slayer, the last two Slayer shows, and this last Exodus tour, he started using the Gorilla Snot. You seen that stuff?
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
It's made for like drumsticks and like drum gloves. Like you put it on the drumstick and it gives you like real good grip. But Gary just takes a little bit and touches his finger a little tiny bit to like Tom's glove, and then gets it on his fingers, and he holds a pick, takes his thumb away, and the pick stays stuck to his finger. And so he's moved away a little bit from the scoring.
Yeah, I used to score my picks, but it didn't work that well for me.
Yeah.
Like these would grip pretty well when I use them. They're you got more of a surface area.
Yeah.
But then when I went to the Prodigies, they would grip well at first, and they start slipping.
Yeah.
Then these have like a built-in grip, and it's doing pretty good so far. I still got to mess with them.
Yeah. It was funny him moving to the Gorilla Snot, but he would touch Tom's glove for a little while. Then he got his own little tub of it, and like he just barely touches the brand new stuff and gets it on his finger, and okay, good. But he'll do it right before he goes on stage, as far as the sticky, but warms up with it, not the sticky on it. But he holds it to his finger, it doesn't come off. That's the pick stuff. So look, I'll never drop it. Sick.
We'll have to order so many picks then.
Yeah. That's fun.
Yeah. But yeah, that show, man, he fucking crushes it every time.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a fun show. I like that place a lot.
Yeah, it's very vibey.
Yeah.
I love it.
Punk rock type of place.
Yeah, an old church of all places. Yeah. I have my tour shirt on too.
I love that design.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, that's old school as hell. I'm going with that.
Yeah. Yeah, we were in an airport in Mexico, coming back from one of the festivals we did. I think it was at Candelabrum Festival, maybe. But Gary showed me the shirt designs for this tour that we just finished, and he showed me that one. I was like, "Fucking Rex is back," Sick. I was like, "Why is that not the backdrop too?" And I was like, "Because we can't go out with the Persona non grata backdrop again. We got to do something different,
Yeah, because
he's like,
the live album.
That's a good idea, So it's kind of tying in the live album with Rex again and throwing it old school, and we did the cabinets up with that whole theme, and it worked out really good and looked awesome. I love that design.
Yeah, it's sick. Yeah. That whole live album too is a banger too. I love it.
Yeah.
I was planning to go, so shit, I might as well just get the vinyl and get it signed.
Yeah.
Then I was like, oh no, they're putting out the Exhibit B ones. It ships out the day of that we went. Damn it. So I handed my buddy a few CDs. I said, make sure you get the Exhibit V one signed.
Yeah.
That one staying with me. I love that album.
Yeah. Those are killer. A and B are killer. B's a little,
yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I love that.
B. Just so good.
Yeah.
Then Jack, I didn't get to meet him the last time, but I got to meet him this time.
Yeah.
Walks up to me and said, "You're the special guest today." I don't even know what to say to that. Yeah, that was cool. But
awesome.
then we spent I think 5 minutes talking about his bass tone. And I mentioned Exhibit B because I think it punches through on that album quite a bit.
I mean,
like
Shovelhead tone's killer, but that one's just a little
yes, something about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It cuts through real nice. Yeah, I love that album.
Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do because Andy Sneap's busy. So this next record they can't do it with Sneap. So they're I think they have a plan, but it has to be someone other than Sneap. So it's gonna be they're throwing a wrench in their
plans, so to speak. Yeah.
Thing.
Yeah, I can't wait for the next album from them.
That could be good for them though. Like the change in engineer and mixer and stuff. You kind of get so comfortable doing one thing with one person, it could get stagnant. But changing it up, it could get interesting for them. So we'll see how this new guy does, whoever it is.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear it whenever that drops.
Yeah.
I remember when Beatings came out, I had it on for 5 hours straight.
Yeah.
I was like, I gotta learn it somehow.
That was the first single, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then I learned how to play it correctly because I had the book.
Right.
Because I pre-ordered the book for that. So yeah, I'm getting the book. Look at Persona. Yeah, no, I'm going to need to sit down with this one for a while.
Yeah, Craig does a job with those books.
Yeah, I'm waiting on the next one. I got a message and where's Nan King at? Just make sure I got it. Because my buddy messaged him hey, when are we getting Funeral Hymn? And he's like, well, it's in the next book. And that's how I messaged him. Where's Nan King at? Yeah, that song gets ignored too much.
Yeah.
I want to hear. I think it's Democide. I think that's the one I'm thinking of. That I also want to hear live. They never touched it.
Yeah.
It drives me nuts when bands don't play certain songs live. Slayer did that too. Fictional Reality. Oh, let's just play it once.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
It gets hard when you have such a vast catalog like that.
Yeah.
When every record is sick, it's you can't touch on everything. And then when you do play it, and then it comes out the next tour, it's if you don't if they don't come to where you are and they play it, it's shit, and they already did it. And
yeah, that's Slackjaw has that with they have that with one song in particular, and I keep asking when you're gonna play it live. When you're gonna play it live? I think on the podcast I asked him when you're gonna play it because I went I think that song took me 5 hours to learn.
Yeah,
and I'm you better play it live. I go on the road. I might just play it for myself.
Yeah.
I said that my buddy too when we were done. I said I think that's the closest we're getting to Nan King live was him playing it
on stage. Yeah.
Yeah, it was nice to see it up close, him play it live because I was okay, I got that part right, the clean part.
Yeah.
I did know how to play that right. I just never play along with the song for some reason. I just let it switching can be a pain in the ass if you don't have a foot switch like me.
Yeah.
But some parts, okay, I got that right. Oh, I got that right. Oh, I got that wrong. Oh, I got that little detail wrong. Okay. So I standing there taking mental notes of what I got right and what I got wrong.
Yeah.
Because I want to play it right because that's my favorite song.
Hang on, let me film you real quick.
Yeah, I should have did that. Shit, I should have filmed it. But yeah, hand him his guitar. Shit, man, you got best job in the world.
It's fun, I'll tell you. I don't take it lightly, and I enjoy being out there and doing it, and especially for him, he's a good, really, really good person, and that makes it easy.
Yeah.
And you don't like, oh shit, I gotta fucking go out and do this again. You know, it's like, oh cool. You know, we got some dates.
Go out there,
We're doing Europe. We're going to Greece, or we're doing Norway this year, or whatever it is. You know.
Yeah, that's like I remember my first time meeting him. I was like all scared and nervous.
Yeah.
Gets on there and nicest dude possible. Wow, that's not what I was expecting, but okay. Because like I noticed, like it gets easier each time. Second time was a little easier. Third time was a little easier. Fourth time was the first time in person. So we were back to square one of being scared shitless. Made it easy once again. I wasn't even getting in the door and he's shaking my hand. I'm like, what?
That's funny.
It was a little shell shock at first. Then when I was there last time, all of a sudden he's behind me. I'm like, oh shit. Well, it had me there for a second, but you made it real easy and you made it easy. So I gotta say thanks for that.
Yeah, no problem, man. Like I said, like if there's anyone that should have their hands on the stuff, you know what I mean? There's a lot of people that want to play through the rig, but it's like you can't trust everybody. But you know, I mean, if there's anyone that should be playing it, the guy who's studied it his whole life, you know what I mean?
It's an honor. I mean, I remember like the first year of doing it, and you know what? I'm waiting for this album so I could do it again. Yeah. You know, I'd sit there and watch like all the behind the scenes stuff I could find, start going down these rabbit holes on the internet. You know, Clipboard came in handy too for some of it. Got to give them a shout out real quick. But I'd sit there for hours making notes and shit. Like on my personal one, I think you follow my personal page, right?
Yeah.
You might have seen some snippets. Like I did post like from the last tour because I took notes, like looking at the pictures I took.
Yeah.
Like, okay, this is what's there. Oh shit, I can't tell what this is. Look at like things that look similar. Like, oh, okay, it's this.
Yeah.
It's a whole process, but it's one hell of a fun process.
Yeah.
The guitars are easy to tell, though.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And his rig for the last couple of years has stayed pretty consistent. Like, the only thing that's really changed is that Goop Tech pedal.
Oh, is that the blue one?
Yeah.
It's like off on the
loop
side?
Yeah, it goes in the loop of the head and basically adds a resonance and presence knob.
Yeah.
That the Marshall.
That was when I was doing like the notes and that for the rundown.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh shit, I should have asked about that because it took me forever to find out. Like, there's like some instances, like it wasn't on this one, but in the past, like where it took 2 hours to find out what one thing was.
Yeah.
But it gets easier each time.
What the fuck is this thing?
What is it? What is it? Why is there a middle finger on it?
Yeah. Exactly.
But like sitting there and trying to figure it out, it's fun. I wouldn't like, trade it for anything in the world. It's just so much fun.
Well, it's cool that
you start
that Goop Tech pedal that he has. There's 3 of them in the Slayer rig now. One for each head, Yeah,
how does that work? Are all 3 heads running at once?
Yeah, and then we have
that's what
4th one. Just
I thought.
Yeah, so there's like a radial switcher. So like the signal runs from the wireless through all the effects, and then out of that last effect into this radial, splitter pretty much, and it gives you like 4 splits or 5 splits out, something like that. But it just turns one signal into 6 signals or whatever.
Okay.
So then we
See,
just
that's what
split
I
out
thought.
3 different heads.
Yeah.
So every head is getting fed the exact same thing, and then we have 3 of the Goop Tech pedals because it has to go in the effects loop, one for each loop sort of thing.
Okay, yeah, I always like wondered that because I wasn't too sure. I was pretty sure that's how it worked.
Yeah.
So I know they stagger like I think his side is 1 and 3, 2 and 4, then 5 and 6.
Yeah, 5 and 6 together.
Yeah, that's how Jeff's were staggered too. They kept it the same.
Yeah.
I forget how Carrie's is.
Yeah, they weren't remembering if like someone was saying that he thought that Gary did it different. I think it was the monitor guy that was out at these shows. Like, didn't Gary do it different than Jeff did? And Warren was like, no, I think we just kept it the same way.
Yeah, they kept it the same way. It was Carrie who did things differently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they asked Gary, he's like, didn't you do it different? He goes, I don't know. Whatever Warren did, it was the way it was. So we just kept it that way, Pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Walking in front of, 6
wall of Marshall. Yeah, those things are loud too.
Because I remember he was playing a lot quieter, than he normally did, and it was loud, but it wasn't like whoa shit, So
that's surprising because I remember
It was actually pretty pleasing to the ear. It wasn't like destroying you.
Like when I played through his rig, I was surprised that my eardrums didn't blow out. I was expecting it much louder.
Yeah, for the Slayer stuff, he was definitely a little quieter. I think because he's able to rely on the monitors more. Because with Slayer, they're traveling with the same wedges, the same monitor desk, the same engineer, the same microphones. Everything is exactly the same night per night. But with Exodus, it could be a different monitor desk. It's a different monitor guy. It's different wedges. So I think he relies a little more on the cabinets because that's consistent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But some nights we'll get a really good desk and a really good set of wedges, and he's able to, make it sound really good off of those. But some days you get to a venue and their wedges are fucking shot, blown JBL wedges, and it's like just take the guitars out of the wedges, turn up the cabs a little bit,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because I remember. I think it was the rig rundown from 2014. Warren's like, I can't even check his guitars without my ears bleeding. Yeah. Because it was so loud.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad this time around.
Yeah, I bet that tone was crunchy as hell, though.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's pretty much the same. The Slayer rig is the same as the Exodus rig now, essentially. A couple small differences, but...
Yeah, that and it's just bigger.
Exactly.
Well,
just
like you said...
On heroin, on crank.
Yeah, like you said when I was there, it's basically half the Slayer rig that's in the Exodus rig.
Third, yeah.
Third, or yeah, I think you said half, but
yeah,
maybe a third. Yeah. But it sounds so good.
Yeah, because we have the two heads in the Exodus rig, but one's just a backup. So we're only the one head, 50-watt head, and the two cabs.
Yeah, it was literally a third. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, because Slayer, it's all three running at once. Yeah, because beforehand, before we went there, I did have that question in my mind, what's the second head for? And I was figuring it was a backup.
Yeah, exactly. That's all it is.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know if he would run two at once, like he did in Slayer, like they ran three at once, but yeah, I was pretty sure it was just going to be a backup.
Yeah, and luckily we've never, we've only had to go to it when, it's the other one's never, completely gone down. I've had to switch during a show. But it's something's acting funny on it. Tomorrow, let's switch to the backup sort of thing, So luckily, there's never been a oh shit moment where I'm fucking switching to the backup. It's always I think we should go to the backup tomorrow because this one's sounding funny, and then we get into it and retube it, and make the main one sound like it should again.
Yeah. I can imagine borderline shitting yourself if that head went down.
Well, there's
switching everything up
like that. Not a lot, but there's been a couple. All the pedals are in the JCX switcher, so it's 8 pedals in one rack mount switcher. All the cables that run from each pedal into that thing. It's a shit ton of cables. But it was in Europe this last tour. One of the pedals lost power during the set, and it was the lead. It's the backup, not backup. So the Super Overdrive's always on, but it's the OD9 is the one that switches on when he's doing the solos.
That's the max on, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so, I figured that was in his rig.
Yeah, so when I hit the solo channel from the pedal, it engaged the loop with that pedal, but that pedal was off because the power went down on it. So all signal died on it. Because there was a break in the chain, so there was no sound, and it was I hit the button and there was nothing. I'm like, fuck. I'm looking around trying to figure out what it was, and I could have just ran back and hit the rhythm and it would have been fine, but I didn't realize it was the one pedal, because it was right when he hit his wah of the solo boost. So I thought it was something in the pedal board that went out because he hit his wah at that time. So I'm running around trying to figure out what it was, and finally I turn off the JCX. And I reboot the whole thing, and it went back to the rhythm sound, and it was working. But it was at least a minute and a half of fuck, what is it? Because you have a million pedals and a million cables and power cables for them, and then cables going to the wah, then the wireless, and then the guitar itself. So it's a bunch of shit to diagnose in a short amount of time trying to figure out what the problem is. But he stayed pretty cool about it and was just kind of. You're
what the hell?
Playing the bonded solo with nothing, no sound coming out. Like, what the fuck's going on?
Like, what's going on?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's got to be like, oh shit.
Yeah. I mean, it's live music.
One little thing.
There's something to go wrong, it will go wrong.
Yeah.
It's just you got to keep cool and not like lose your shit, not freak out. You just what's signal flow? Which way is it moving? What can I do to diagnose it? I see it's hitting the wireless. What's next?
Yeah.
So yeah, it was weird. We were doing these shows in Europe, and Black Dahlia was playing one of the festivals. Brandon filled in 2 summers ago with Exodus, so we were all watching Black Dahlia, and they finished the song, and then Brandon goes back to get a drink, and he realizes he had no signal, and he's like, we're trying to tell the band to stall because I have it's not working. I got nothing, and I'm standing sideline. They don't have any techs, actually guitar techs, but I run over there and I start trying to help him, and like we see it's hitting the wireless, and he's playing. He's like, I got nothing, and then I pulled out one of the cables that goes into his effects loop and put it back in, and suddenly it fired up. So he's like, "What'd you do?" I was like, "I unplugged the cable and put it back in the effects loop." Why it went out, like, you'll never know. It's just some weird fucking gremlin that will probably never happen again, But it was just some weird thing. Why I pulled it out, I don't know, but I put it back in, and it worked fine. And then he played the whole show, and I was watching, waiting for something to go wrong again,
Yeah.
But it's a gremlin. You can't explain why it didn't work for that instant, but you had to find out why it didn't work, and get it working again. And it was only like 20 seconds that he didn't have signal, so it was no lost show. He ended the song, and then it went out, and then started the next song, and it was fine. It's crazy. It's fun, though.
Yeah, but you got some stories to tell.
Yeah. Some
but
adrenaline moments. Fuck. What is it?
Yeah, what's going on? What's going on? Like,
yeah.
I bet that happens quite a bit sometimes, though.
You'll go a whole, couple tours where there's not one issue, and then you'll have a couple in a row where it's like, what the fuck's this coming from? Yeah. Like we had, for a while, they had the Years of Death and Dying in the set. And
oh, yeah, they did.
We never had issues with Gary's wireless. And then they put that in the set, and it was like the 4th song in the set or something like that. And then right when Gary goes into the solo section, we were in Canada, and right when he goes into the solo section, he loses everything. And I look, and the wireless isn't talking to it. So I put him on a cable real quick. I'm like, what the fuck was that? Why did it cut out? And then the next night, we're trying to figure out why it cut out. Everything was working. The pack was fine. And then the next night, it happened in the exact same spot, right into the solo section of the Years of Death and Dying. It did it like that 3 nights in a row. And
that's crazy.
After that, it didn't do it for like 2 years, not once, And then we were playing in Mexico, and they put the Years of Death and Dying back in the set, but it was like 7th song in the set, and it did it in the same spot. Like 2 years later, the same fucking song, the same solo break.
Yeah,
I was like, no more. Fuck that song's out. Kill it. And they put it back.
Yeah, I'd be saying the same thing.
I'm like watching that pedal board when they're playing that song, and then he looks at me like, it's coming up on the solo, shit, we haven't played this in a while, and it's working. He's like, all right. And I'm like, but it was like just some gremlin. You can't explain why it went out.
That's crazy.
Went out 4 times in the exact same spot in different parts in the set, but same song,
Same song, same spot. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's really weird.
No explanation for it. Different countries, gremlins, but.
Oh man, I can't wait to have these stories myself.
Oh, you don't want those stories, though.
Yeah, not those ones, but the good ones. Yeah, but man, that's crazy. The same song 4 times, same spot.
Well, that song too, it's about like paying tribute to the fallen heroes.
Yeah, that makes it even weirder.
And fucking, everyone that's died. So it's like it's the ghosts of them fucking up the solo. Pull them out.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. So, what do you got planned for 2025?
We have Exodus Summer booked. I know they have some other things they're working on. I'm not sure if they have any U.S. Well, I guess they got some festivals we're doing. And we got the Slayer Festival festival they've announced, Louder in Life. So we'll be back for that. Gary and I are doing Metal Allegiance at the end of the month at NAMM.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be doing that again, just like we did last year. And then Nukem will have at least one show this month that hasn't been announced yet. But hopefully here Monday or something they can announce it, get it fucking promoted and booked, and
Get people out there.
Start pushing it. Yeah. But I got the guys here showing up, and like pretty soon we're gonna start rehearsing tonight and break off the crust again. Because we hadn't played, like we worked so much on the new record, we hadn't played the old stuff in a while, and we can't play anything off the new record yet, obviously, because we're not ready to release it. So yeah, we got to break the crust off the old stuff and get back in shape for that, But hopefully book some more this year,
Yeah, I hope you guys make it out my way. Yeah. I know my buddy caught you once, and I seen like the footage, like, oh shit.
The same guy that was at the show. That one?
No. My buddy Sinister Metal Guitars.
Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah.
He saw y'all once with I think Death to All.
Yeah,
I think you guys were touring with at the time, and I saw the footage like shit.
Yeah, that was a good tour for us. That was a fun one. The Suffocation guys are awesome. Death to All guys were awesome.
Yeah, that's basically what me and my camp are waiting on is a good tour.
Yeah.
So. Fingers crossed. Like the Havoc thing, like that's a bit light right there because they might say, "Hey, who was that band?"
Yeah.
Well, that's what we're hoping.
Yeah. Rad. Yeah, it'll just keep pushing at it, sort of thing, and don't take no for an answer.
Yeah. Yeah, because when I saw they got that, like, oh shit, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like I played a couple of their riffs. Through the rig too, and damn, because like a couple years ago I played some of the riffs through like the tone matches I did, and it sounded great.
Yeah.
When on our way there, I'm thinking to myself, oh shit, I should play those riffs to see how they sound through the actual rig.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because they're crushing, man. Like the one I played, it was the one I've been begging them to play live. Like I guess that's the closest I'm getting. Kind of like Man King, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, but that rig sounded so good.
Yeah.
I was ready to tell you, find a way to fit it in my car. Going home with me for a little bit.
Exactly. The quad rig that he has gets really close to his main rig, too.
I hear it's pretty close, the Quad Cortex.
Yeah.
I hear it's really good.
It's just a little more compact than the Kemper,
Yeah, it's probably nice too, save on shipping and that.
Yeah, for sure. Like we use that when we go do all the fly dates and stuff like that. Flying into a festival, you don't want to fly a bunch of pedals and rack gear and shit, but you want to have the quad does really good. The Kemper did too. It was just a little more bulky, another case to fly with, and the Quad Cortex carry on case.
Yeah, like when it comes down like that kind of stuff, you want something compact and portable. You don't want to be lugging all this stuff around just for one show.
Exactly. Eat in a budget with all the flight costs of all that stuff and baggage.
Yeah. The only thing you really want to have to worry about is the guitars. That's about it.
Yeah.
That maybe.
Which they strip it down pretty well. Like Gary will bring one Inky with two guitars, and Lee will bring an Inky with two guitars. Then they bring a third one with a third guitar each, which is the drop tune stuff. The one drop tuning guitar. So it definitely cuts down. You're not bringing 6 guitars out for those,
Yeah, when I was there, bunch of guitars. Can't believe I got the whole roll of them.
We had all the fun stuff out. Yeah.
That medieval one though, man. Oh, that thing's heavy.
One's sick.
I love that thing.
Yeah.
It's just super heavy.
Yeah, he got that, that one in 20.
Yeah.
In that first Bass Strikes Back tour, and then he left it there thinking they would be back that next summer. And then that's when pandemic hit, and
world shut down.
Yeah, he didn't see it for fucking 3 years or whatever it was.
Yeah, probably excited to see it again.
Yeah. So he finally brought it home for the Slayer stuff and to bring out with X's. And, that one's awesome.
Yeah, that thing's sick.
Yeah.
Then that we got to talk about that Lowrider V.
I think it's pretty sick.
It's the profile picture because I I had the Christmas one up just to be a smart ass and be funny.
Yeah.
And I said, well, after that's done, I'm putting that lowrider one up because I love that thing.
Yeah.
I'm
that showed up at the LA show, and I pulled it out. You know, he didn't see it yet, and I looked inside of him like, holy shit, this thing's fucking sick. You know? It's almost looks like, you know, like that Bram Stoker's Dracula. He's wearing that like flesh suit where it looks like muscles and stuff. You ever see that one?
no.
That guitar reminds me of like the stripes in it. Kind of looks like exposed muscle.
Oh, I get
You know?
what you mean. Okay, yeah.
Like you see like the bodies exhibit where there's a human with no skin. You know, it's just muscle. So it kind of reminds me. Fucking cool though.
Yeah.
And the paint. Surprisingly, the paint on that thing added a lot of weight because it's pretty heavy. It's pretty beefy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually something I want to ask you about, like his LTD, the new V's. Like, have you ever come across any that are like really neck heavy?
All of his straps are like a leather type of strap. I don't think it's real leather, but it has that grippiness.
I have one here.
His stay pretty up. You know, they don't seem real neck heavy. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still, that was a graduation present for my mom.
Yeah, none of his stuff really neck dives, and I like to think some of that's the strap too. Like if you get like one of those like fabric straps, they're way more slick.
Those, yeah. Because I had his Schecter one, and that one was really neck heavy. I loved sitting down with it, but I hated standing up with it.
Yeah.
No,
these ones are pretty balanced. I mean, there's a whole bunch of fin going back this way, so I'm sure it balances out.
Yeah, that probably helps a lot. Yeah. That's like if I get one, I probably want to try one in the shop first, standing up.
Yeah.
See how it feels.
They're pretty.
And if that one's good, that's the one I'll buy.
Yeah.
Because I like standing up and playing the Slayer stuff. I used to do that quite a bit. I need to start doing that again.
Yeah.
It was a little nice challenge because it was different than sitting down and playing. You have to like balance everything right, you know.
Yeah, the new V's are awesome. I like them a lot. And you know, I think he's gonna start bringing that load rider out to like some of the fly dates. You know.
Oh, I hope so. I want to see more pictures of it. I love that thing.
Because you don't want to fly with like your most expensive guitars, you know, especially when you're going to like South America or doing random fly dates. Shit gets kind of bounced around from TSA and stuff like that. But,
yeah.
You know, I think he's gonna start bringing that one out like one of the customs.
Yeah, I love that thing. It's so kick-ass. Because when I saw the video, like, shit, I missed that. Like, oh, that thing looks so good.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, just so badass.
Yeah, that one's awesome.
They
got it a real good paint upper metal flake.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, I think he's in the Midwest somewhere. Fucking awesome. Did a real awesome job.
Yeah. He needs to get a cabinet to match it.
That'd be rad.
Just get the whole rig painted like that.
Yeah.
It's just so badass.
Yeah, well, it looks like my drummer's showing up right now. But,
oh, okay, man.
Yeah, it was fucking fun talking.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Hey,
you know,
I'd like to have you back on at some point.
Hell yeah, definitely into that.
We'll have to talk about that. We'll also let you know about the next guest if he
definitely
decides to do
it. Yeah, once we get the Nukem release date, how about that? We'll get some songs out.
Yeah, you could always come on and chat about it.
Definitely. Hell yeah, man.
Oh yeah, man.
Pleasure talking,
All right,
Braxton.
Yep, no problem. See you later. Yep, later, man.